What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Mind Hiking Podcast. And today, I got a special story for you guys and a very special guest. So stay tuned, guys. I hope you enjoy. And if you are enjoying the show, please give it a follow on Spotify. It really helps out. And check me out on Instagram, Brody_Frye_63. And if you guys want to leave comments on the show notes and give this podcast a review, it really helps, and I'd really appreciate it. So thank you for that, and stay tuned. Hello, and welcome, everyone. I'm your host, Brody Frye, and here we dive deep into difficult questions. We'll map out thoughts, theories, and crazy ideas for the love of knowledge and growth. So, how do we answer some of the mind's toughest questions? This is the Mind Hiking Podcast. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Mind Hiking Podcast. This morning is actually morning when we're recording this, and I got...
Surprise, surprise.
My beautiful fiance. You're looking as beautiful as ever, sweetie.
Oh my goodness.
We just woke up, and now we're recording, and now Bailey's getting excited. Oh, God.
Yeah, why? I think it's because I screamed,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
she thinks I'm like trying to play. Bailey,
So cute.
stop down.
Yes, we are engaged now. It was, actually, when this is going to be launched, it was like over a week prior.
Yeah.
So, but that was a very special moment.
It was.
First of all, good morning. Cheers. We got homemade iced mocha coffees, and that's what I made. And then you got two
Yeah.
cups over there. So you got your coffee and...
Yeah. And then I have a little healthy shot that I learned for all of you people out there that deal with like bloating or anything like that. I went to the store and got aloe vera, but I think it's called the inner fillet because that's less, that'll not trigger like, oh my gosh, sorry, it's morning, guys. I can't function.
and her coffee's still full, so...
Yeah, but the inner fillet of the aloe vera means that it doesn't trigger if you have like really bad acid reflux or acid issues. So it just like doesn't trigger that kind of stuff, and it just doesn't make you feel like uncomfortable, like detoxing your body. But I did aloe vera, I did apple cider vinegar, I did water, I did lemon juice, I did turmeric, and I did ginger. And then I also put a squirt of Mio lemonade in it. That's what the girl did too. And I was like, I have that. I saw it on TikTok, but I squirt that in there because it like something about the apple cider vinegar and the lemonade, it like has really good like similar taste, but enough
Balance.
where like I can swallow it and not feel like it's burning or it's disgusting. I mean, it's still gross, but
Cool.
yeah. So it's like a little healthy shot. It's supposed to help with like anti-inflammatory stuff and just like bloating and just like it's supposed to like it's supposed to be the first thing you have in the morning. So then like your whole body is like set to like digest stuff all day. So that's what I made. It's like a bright orange, disgusting looking drink.
No, it doesn't look disgusting. I thought it was like a tropical mango juice or something.
Oh, I
like,
wish.
Yeah.
No, it's definitely not that.
Now you're just going to think about that every time you drink, but then actually just gag. Mm-hmm. Because it tastes like rotten mangoes.
Yeah.
Just kidding. But the engagement, we actually still using the engagement cups. They got little rings on it. The house is still...
Shout out. Wait, did Steph get those or did Abby get those?
I have no idea where these came from.
Shout out to whoever got those cups.
We had a crazy dream team put this whole thing together. It turned
Thanks to
out...
Brody.
No, thanks to everybody that helped. They were awesome. Absolutely outstanding. I couldn't have done it without them, and it turned out perfect. It was such a large secret. Sorry, the dogs are Bailey,
right
Baron,
now.
come on.
They're just happy because we're talking about this.
Yep.
I think they can feel our happiness, so they're like playing.
Yeah, they're like, my humans are getting married.
Yeah. They're morning dogs too.
Yeah, they are. But I see Bailey just like side-eyeing Baron.
Yeah,
She's like about to go in for the attack.
She is.
No, but I absolutely could not have done this without the dream team. It was amazing that we put this together. I was so scared. The more people I told, the more I was like, she's gonna find out kind of thing. And it was like, from my perspective, I wanted...
Wouldn't have mattered. I'd listen to you anyways. You can just gaslight me and tell me it's not going to happen and put on a show, and I'll fully believe you no matter what I see or hear or whatever.
Well, you didn't even believe it. So we'll get to that point. I want to walk through my perspective, but the thing I'm most curious about is your side. Because like we talked about it briefly, but like I want to dive into that too, because like that's so cool to me. But I reached out. The first person that knew was my sister, Steffi Frye. She's awesome, and she was all on board right off the bat. She was so excited, and she knew even before I bought the ring, and I had the ring like over a month prior, and it was absolute. It's gorgeous. It's beautiful. If you follow me on Instagram or Catie on Instagram, you can check out photos. But it was perfect. And then had that ring, never saw our house because I was like not gonna take any chances on that. I was like, I just drove it straight over to Steph and Doug's place and dropped it off, and that's where it sat. And so what we were gonna do was relive our first ever date, which our first date was luckily adorable. It wasn't some stupid like go to the movies thing or whatever, you know. We actually had an adorable first date, didn't we?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Sorry.
Sneaky girl.
Yeah, we had a really cute first date, and what means the most is, sorry guys, I'm like, I always get congested in the morning. I have seasonal allergies. But I remember for our first date, like, we didn't live near each other. We met through his sister because we went to beauty school together, me and Steph. And I'm pretty sure we've already talked about this. So you listen to past episodes between me and him. But
we can go into it just because I want this episode to be.
Oh, okay. Us. Well, I mean, so me and Steph were pretty close, and Brody would come in and get a haircut. He was like the male model for men's cuts and for Steph, and ironically my dad was the model for me for my men's cut, and so Brody and my dad were the same time slot. So
me and your dad had this modeling gig together.
Yeah, they sat on the couch together, didn't even know their future together, like stuff like that. But so basically, long story short, like, I thought he was really, really cute, and normally I'm like able to just be like, I'm gonna focus on myself and like not care about anything. And for some reason, because me and Steph's last name both start with F, so my station's always next to hers. And he would come in, and like I would just get really blushy and very like, oh my gosh, and like very like just not like me, like just super like, he's so cute, like I can't even like keep a straight face talking to him. And at the time he did have a girlfriend, so that's why I would be very like, okay, Steph, he's coming, okay, I'm leaving. And I would like take lunches I would like take my lunches at the time that he would like show up, or like try and just like go hang out by the front desk by like Bridget and stuff like that, because I'm like, I don't want to be around him. I wanted to, but I didn't want to. And so then, like, everyone knew.
Especially because Stephanie was like,
She was not like,
No, wasn't she? I thought she was like, sorry, you have no chance.
Well, so Steph did tell me, because she knew how I was, because our friend Mikey was very like, go after him. And I was like, no, I'm not like that. And so then Steph was very like.
Which is just another solidifying factor. Cause I love you so much.
I love you so much. And Steph was very like, because I always had the saying of like, you get them how you, like, you lose them how you get them. That's how I always felt when it came to that situation. And I've been cheated on, so like I know that pain. Like I could never do that to someone, and so I kept just a distance. I have self-control. Yeah. And so then Steph told me, where she was like, she broke the news to me, where she was like, when I first thought you were cute, where she was like, well, like he does have a girlfriend, like, you know, they've been together for a couple years. Like, I don't know if that will happen. But that was the only time she said that. Because it's not like she tried to force us to be together while you had a girlfriend. But she would, like, say things just being like, you and my brother, like, you guys would be so perfect together. Like, I would, like, say something and she would say that. Or she'd be like, And I did say this at our engagement party, not to put stuff on blast, but we were like either like washing our mannequin heads together or something, and I like was talking to her, and she was like, I want you to be my sister-in-law.
Oh.
Like, can't you be my sister-in-law? Like, I would much rather, like, if I could wish for anything, it would be for you to be my sister.
Stephanie is so fucking adorable.
Yeah, and she said that, like, long before, like, you
Yeah.
were still with your girlfriend, like, I, like, didn't pursue. Like, it was just, like, a little, like, me and Steph just got along so well, and we were talking, and she knew I liked you. We're like...
You guys just manifested the shit out of this.
She did.
For
Everyone
years.
said that at the party, too. They were like, Steph, you manifested this. You made this happen. Which is funny, too, because she's the one that helped you the most with the ring and the party and everything. But yeah, so then basically, long story short, so then him and his girlfriend broke up, and there was like an on and off period. Steph was like updating me. She literally, like, the moment you guys broke up, like, we had our like final test for the year, like for being at beauty school that day, and I literally got like rear-ended on the highway that day. Was running late, like was such a mess that morning, like waited for the longest time for the police to come, and then they never did, and I just looked at my car and went, it's fine, whatever, you can go, and just like and then got in my car and left, like did not care. I just wanted to get to my final test. And so then I got to school, and then all of a sudden, like, Steph's like patting the chair, like, come sit by me. And at this time, me and Steph weren't super close, which, like, happens. Like, it wasn't anything personal. It was just we
went
weren't
to
super
school
close.
together. And
at that time, we weren't.
You're friendly.
Exactly. And so I go sit by her, and we're, like, taking the test, and all of a sudden, like, it's around a period where, like, we can talk, and we can, like, hang out and study and stuff. And she's like, I have news for you. And I was like, what? And she's like, my brother's single. And I was like, okay, he's single, okay. And she was just like, I don't know what's going on right now, but maybe I'll bring you up to him. And I was
I'm
like,
freaking out right now.
And I was just like, okay. And at the time I knew it was pretty recent, so I was like, well, give him time, because I knew, like, coming out of a long relationship, like, I was like, he needs his space, he needs his time to himself, like, he needs to, like, just figure out what I don't want to jump in on it right now. Like, things are going to be messy. Like, I don't want to deal with that. That's literally how I felt, where I was like, I really would love to date this guy, but, like, I
got to give him some dirt bike time to clear his head.
Yeah. So then, I feel like I'm just longing this.
It's all good.
This whole thing.
It's all good.
I'm reminiscing as I'm, like, talking about it. So then
you're building up the suspense.
I am. It's also because I'm sleepy, so my brain's working a lot slower right now.
Oh, it's okay.
But then
I literally pulled her straight out of bed into here. made her coffee too.
I brushed
so
my
she literally
teeth and came in here.
Yeah.
I made my little drinky drink and then came in here. But yeah, so then
you're adorable.
So then, like, a couple weeks went by, I would say, like, 2-3 weeks. And, Steph, like, Steph told Brody about me and, like, showed pictures of me. And you can tell people what you thought of that. Go ahead.
Go ahead. I was like, damn. No, she sent me, or she told me your name, and I found you on Instagram, and it wasn't stalkery. I feel like this is like
It's not stalkery.
Okay. Yeah, she was literally just like, here, this is her name.
Tell the story like I've heard from all points of view everywhere. I said, tell the story from all points of view that I heard everywhere, including your dad and stuff.
What part? I don't know exactly.
Because you're being all timid and you're like, it's stalkery. I'm like, no, tell the story how it happened.
I was actually in my kitchen, and when I was on the phone with Stephanie, and then she told me, like, your name, and I looked you up on Instagram, and I was like, dang, she's pretty. And and I really liked... I liked... You were like... And just from, like, the couple times, because I know, like, the first time I saw you... Actually, the first time I went in and saw you, like, I saw you from across the room, and I was like... It was literally, like, complete focus on you when I walked into the school or salon. And it was just, like... It was so weird, because, like, you were across, like... It was kind of like a half-open salon, because you had, like, the front desk waiting area and stuff, and then, like, all the way into the back, and and like you were walking back there, but you were like laughing at something and like
Probably talking to someone.
talking to somebody and like turned your head like away to walk away. And it was literally like from movies where like you just turn your head and your hair swooshes over your shoulder as you're walking away. And I was like, whoa, like that memory is so distinct. And that's the first time I ever saw you. Have I told you that before? I have.
You have. Yeah.
And yeah, it was amazing. And then, but yeah, like you said, I was with somebody at that time, and I'm not that kind of person.
It was just love at first sight, and you were like, what?
Yeah, no, it was just
you just didn't know yet.
It was just a very distinct memory that I remember, but like at the time I didn't think anything of it either. But like now that we're together, it's cool to look back on, knowing that like my subconscious knew.
Yeah.
But I didn't at the time. At the
No.
time I was just like, oh wow, and then just kind of like, okay, sat down.
I feel like that's most of our relationship, where it's just like two people that no one would have really expected to be together, let alone like get engaged and get married kind of thing. And with how like our relationship unraveled, basically, I feel like all of it's just very like, this is different with you, or
like how it worked out, like from the time we met was so like our lives were so like just like tangled up in so many weeds elsewhere. And like the way that they like grew together is just beautiful. Like how did we get from our separate lives to where, not even that, but like even geographically, like we were over an hour apart, like an hour and 10, hour and 15 apart. And I remember that phone call when I was like scrolling through your Instagram and on the phone with Steph, specifically saying like, yeah, like my only concern is like how far away she lives.
Because you lived on the farm.
Well, I lived on the farm, and I think I've said this before, where like I would, like I had my F-250 my old F-250. It was a 2003. It was the gasser piece of shit, 5.4 Triton, and it got like 9 to 8 miles to the gallon. And luckily it had a 31-gallon tank, so it was a big bitch. And I could go like a month and a half without refueling because I never drove anywhere. I literally, and I had the house on the farm too.
There was no need for you besides to go to the grocery store. Like,
and the other thing too is like I rode dirt bikes a lot, but we had the farm, and I'd ride at the farm, and everybody would haul their bikes to the farm, and we would ride here. So everything I needed or everything I wanted to do was here. I worked at the farm. I enjoyed my time. Everybody came to the farm to have fun. We had the parties on the farm. We had bonfires. We rode dirt bikes on the farm. The only reason that I had to leave the farm was to get groceries every now and then. Especially at that time, like after the breakup, it was like, of my previous relationship, it was like I was grocery shopping for just me, and like I literally could just go to the grocery store, get stuff, and then go a month without leaving again. So I never left the house. So that was like and I didn't like leaving. I didn't like.
No, it was fine.
Yeah.
It was just what you grew up with.
Yeah.
Like, it's just what you knew.
Yeah, I just stayed on my farm. And then the thing that I told Steph was, yeah, as long as she doesn't live too far away, I don't want to travel.
Didn't you say like longer than 30, like as long as she's not longer than 30 minutes?
Yeah, I was like, I don't want to drive, like, I don't even want to drive 15 minutes. Like, that was ridiculous. The other side of the town that I lived in was ridiculous. Like, the grocery store was too far for me. The grocery store was 15 minutes away, and I'm like, fuck that. I don't want to go all the way out to the downtown to go grocery shopping. Like, screw that. But yeah, and I was like, yeah, no go if it's like a half hour or more.
Yeah.
And then she's like, yeah, well, that's the thing, she's down in Naperville. And I remember still being on the phone. I like looked it up on whatever, the Apple Maps or whatever. And
hour and 15.
Yep. I was like, ugh, I don't know if that's gonna work. I was like, that sucks. I don't even want to. So I gave it a lot of thought, and I think
didn't you like talk to me to kind of feel it out before you decided if we were going to or not?
Yeah. That's when I ended up messaging you on Instagram. I don't know. I gave it some thought because that drive really was like
A deal breaker.
yeah. I was like, that sucks. Fuck that.
I mean, think about it though, like being with someone that lives that far. Like people do long distance and it's fine, but meeting someone and dating someone that lives that far is a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot to be going back and forth, and especially if you really like the person.
Yeah.
Because like when me and you started dating, it was like we wanted to spend every single day together. So
Yeah.
we would just like figure it out, and
Yep.
at least my beauty school was like a halfway point. So at least
Yep.
I would like leave straight. I'd pack a bag and leave straight from beauty school to your place.
Yeah.
And it was like a halfway point, but
Yeah.
it's hard when you like want to spend so much time together.
Yeah.
Making that hour and a half drive
Well,
just to then go home hour and
even
a
the
half
beauty
home.
school thing, when Steph asked me to be the model, I was like I'd do anything for her, but I was damn near ready to be like, Steph, I don't want to drive that far, because that even that like however long that was, like 40 minutes or whatever, right? Half hour, 40 minutes from here, or from
Yeah, I would say
there.
about.
Yeah, so I was like, that sucks. Like, especially being in a truck like that in such a downtown area, like parking sucks.
Yeah.
It's like I don't know, but yeah, it's amazing how things worked out.
Yeah. Yeah, so then basically we messaged for a little bit. He reached out to me and messaged me for like our first date. Oh, what are you doing?
I'm gonna-
You look mischievous right
Yeah,
now.
no, I have our original
Messages?
Instagram messages somewhere.
Well, then basically I had people. So Steph was on a trip in Florida for like some like hair convention, like awards thing. So then she called me with like a couple of my classmates, like Nick and I don't even remember who else. I just remember Nick calling me and Steph calling me and being like, like Steph's brother is gonna reach out to you, like he's really interested in you, and like he's gonna be messaging you, and like he thinks you're really really pretty, and he's really interested in you, and so he's gonna be messaging you. And I just remember like freaking out, being like, oh my gosh, like this is actually happening. And then I was at the mall and I was with my friend at the time, and I was telling her about it, and I was like, yeah, I just got this phone call, like this is happening, so we'll see. And she was like, oh my gosh, update me when it happens. So then I did. And then all of a sudden I just saw like a little Instagram message from Brody Frye, and he just was like, hi. So he said something really sweet, like he thinks I'm pretty or something, and then said like, do you mind if I add you on Snapchat? Because I had my Snapchat in my bio. So he was like, do you mind if I add you on Snapchat? And I thought that was the sweetest thing. Because normally guys just like add you and like don't say anything or message you. And you're like, who's this person adding me? But the fact that he asked to add me, I was like, oh, yeah, of course you can. And I literally like basically fell to the ground at the mall, freaking out.
I didn't want to be one of those guys that just like all of a sudden like pops up. You just look at your Snapchat and then you just see that you got a new follower and a Snapchat from me. Like,
I mean, I was
that's weird.
already following you when you looked at my Instagram, so
Oh,
remember?
well, you're adorable. I love you.
You knew that. You said something to me about that.
Well, you're so cute.
He's like scrolling
Yeah,
right now.
well, because I have it screenshotted, but I figured it'd be easier to scroll to the top of our messages than try to find the photo.
I don't know. We have a lot of messages.
Yep, and it's under an account that you don't use anymore.
Yeah. I actually haven't I just haven't been able to log into it.
Oh, really? Why?
I don't know. I forgot my password. And then the email it took to, I forgot that password. Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah. Well, I love you so much.
Should I just
Sorry,
move
just
on while you're
trying to-
searching?
Trying to search. I think it'd be super
know.
cute. But anyways,
Here, I can scroll for you if you want to talk.
okay, thanks. You're so cute. I'm pretty much there, right? But yeah, so then all of a sudden, hang on, quick sip of coffee. Ah, yes. Refreshed. Okay, yeah, where were we? Walk in, see you. Oh no.
I was reading one of our messages. I'm sorry, I got sidetracked.
He's like laughing and like You look like you saw something inappropriate.
Screenshot it.
Oh God.
It's fine. No, I'm not gonna read it out here.
Oh, okay. Now I'm curious.
If you want to pause it.
No, it's okay. I'll look at it later.
Oh, okay. I got it.
Oh, cool.
So you said, "Hey, Catie, Steph has told me a lot about you, and I'm sure she has told you about me as well. I think you're very pretty, and I would love to get to know you. I'm sorry, this is so random." And I said, "Hey, oh my God, that's so sweet. I love Steph, and I know that you already kind of know about me, and don't worry about it. I'm always down to talk and get to know someone, because I'm just playing it cool." And you said, "I'm just going to give you my number because I'm not a huge fan of messaging on Instagram. Haha, my number is..." Should I read it out loud? No, I'm joking. You don't have that number anymore.
Oh, actually, yeah. Right.
Also, I saw your Snapchat on your bio. Would you mind if I friended you on Snapchat? I said, "Yeah, totally, go ahead. I'm at the mall with my best friend right now, so I'll add you back and text you when I'm done." You said, "Sounds good, and I'm sorry to bother you. I hope you have a good time at the mall. I'm excited to talk to you." And I said, "Oh my God, you're not a bother. Don't even worry, and I'm excited to talk to you." And then the rest is history.
Yes. You're adorable.
And then the rest of it's SpongeBob dirty memes. So.
Oh yeah, I forgot we went through that phase.
Yeah.
Oh, you're so cute. I love you so much.
I love you so much.
It's adorable. Yeah, so that happened, and yeah, the rest is history. We planned our first date. Actually, I was going down to Cabela's that weekend because like there's a Cabela's like halfway between us, and I was just like, hey, like, and I think we planned a first date already at that point.
We planned our first date already.
Like, yeah,
I already had my outfit picked out in my head. I already had my confidence, my mental ability to build up to make sure I made a great impression on that day. I was already invested on our first date.
So we had that planned, and then I was just like a few days early or whatever, I was like, hey, I'm zipping down to Cabela's. It's like
a halfway point.
Halfway point. If you want to meet me up at Cabela's, and I'll and we can.
I remember the way you approached it with me was saying how you couldn't wait for our first date, and you really wanted to meet me.
Yeah.
And so you were like, so it wasn't more of like I'm zipping to Cabela's. It was do you mind meeting me at Cabela's?
Yeah.
Because I really want to see you now, and I really want to meet you because we've been talking like nonstop.
Yeah.
And like sending pictures back and forth, just like cute little pictures of each other because we've never met each other.
Yeah.
And
well, other than the brief conversations being at
but that was
school. Which at the point, like the last time like you were saying too,
it wasn't romantic. It's like in my head I knew you were with someone, so I'm just trying to make small talk and trying to like not lose my cool.
Yep.
And come across flirty because I am a very flirty person, so that's why I would walk away because I would be like, I can't handle myself around this man, I gotta go away kind of thing. And then with you it was more of like oh sorry, that's our little scent thing that we have that sprays good smelling stuff.
Yeah, it sprays like every like 40 minutes or whatever.
Whoops.
Yep.
Dang, it's like our little timer in a way.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then with you, it was more of again, you were in a relationship, so you were talking to me and not even really talking to me, but like when we would talk, it would be very just, I love my sister too. Or like just small talk like that, you know?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure, I don't know why, I feel like no, I wasn't brave enough for that. Just kidding. I was going to say, I feel like I could have complimented your smile, but...
No, you didn't.
No. But also, I feel like maybe I could have said something to Steph about it when you left.
Probably.
Yeah. You're like, no, you didn't.
I would have remembered that.
Oh, okay. But,
I remember when I went to Cabela's. I remember Snapchatting you. I laid out my flannels, and I was like, which one do you...
You had me pick.
Yeah, I was just like, what do you think? Which one do you like? And you picked my least favorite one. And I was like...
Also, long story short, he asked me to go to Cabela's really quickly, just before you go into
like
the
long
leading to
story
Cabela's.
Long story longer.
But you asked me to go to Cabela's, and I had a panic moment because I really liked this man. I really liked him, and I did not want to fuck up. Sorry, pardon my language. And I had a little... not actual panic attack, but I actually had a little tiny panic moment because I was like, he wants to meet me now after I just got out of beauty school. I look like a mess. Like, I can't mentally prepare for this. So then I just told him I just picked up a shift at work and I could come.
building the foundation on lies right off the bat.
Okay.
Just
you
kidding.
lied to me for like a whole month, so.
I did?
Yeah.
About what?
You proposing to me?
Oh, I thought you meant at the beginning.
No.
I was like, no.
No.
You're so cute. Yeah, that was the hardest thing I've ever had to do in my life. It was plan that. But, you're my partner. I tell you everything. It was so tough. But we'll get there.
Yeah.
We're taking the long route here.
Yeah.
Sorry, I really keep clearing my throat. Straight out of bed podcast.
It's okay. You just said that cute little line of just like, I tell you everything, and I don't even respond, but it's actually just because I had this little shot drink just all up in my mouth that I couldn't respond.
Yeah. You're adorable. So, yeah, I put on that flannel that you picked out, took a photo, sent it to you, and then I changed my flannel.
No way.
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. No, I wore it.
You probably did.
No, I wore it because I kept Snapchatting you, even while I was at Cabela's.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, but did you show me pictures of you, or did you just send me pictures of stuff?
I don't know. No, I wore it because you said it made my eyes pop. But
Sounds like a me line to say.
Yeah, you're so cute. But yeah, and then I remember asking you your favorite color. So while I was
Pink.
there, I picked up a pink.
Little froggy frog.
Yeah, bass bait, a little frog lure, which I still have, and it's adorable. So got that. That was inspired by you, and now, yeah, I was just excited to see you. Went there. It was boring because I was alone, and then went back home. Then we had our first date. Now we're a half hour in, just getting to our first date.
I know. There's just so much history.
Oh, there is.
There's so much leading up to it, and we're both waking up. So.
Tired, yeah. So, first date.
Yes.
I drive down to your place. And
you run late.
Yes, because I had to wash my truck. And
I'm sitting there all ready in my dad's office, just sitting on the couch, taking Snapchats to people, literally sweating, so nervous.
You're so cute.
And I'm just messaging you like, it's okay, take your time.
As you're tapping your foot, you're just like, oh, come on.
Literally
Come on.
twitching.
Oh, yeah, so I drive down, finally got my truck cleaned up, and then drive down, but your driveway was kind of full, so I remember just pulling in behind whoever's car, and I was parked on because the sidewalk like goes over your driveway.
Yeah.
And I park kind of blocking the sidewalk, and I get out, and the first thing I say is, because your dad's got the garage door open and he's standing right there when I pull in.
Yeah, also, guys, I grew up in the suburbs of Naperville, so most of the guys that I would like go on a date with would either come pick me up and my dad wouldn't meet them. Like they would like come pick me up and text me that they're here, and I'd go run to their car. Or like most guys were just so afraid of my dad because he's like an ex-Navy man, and he's really, honestly, he is super sweet. Like he is very sweet, but he likes to play that card where he's like
man.
a big, strong, tattoos, like kind of dad. And so most guys like he would scare most guys. Like even I would have guy friends that my dad would turn to me and be like, watch out for him. Like, I know that he's into you. Like, you better watch out. Like would be very, and he would like, me and my dad were close, so I didn't care, but he was very like, even guys that were like my guy friends, if they like had a little crush on me or something, he would intimidate the shit out of them. Like people would be afraid to come over to my place because they didn't want to see my dad. Now, if my mom was just home, they wouldn't care. But if my dad was home, yeah, so he was the type where like if a guy was coming over now, he would like, you know, be cleaning his motorcycle or you know, all of that, like waiting for them to arrive.
Yeah.
So yeah,
you're so cute. Yeah, and I don't know what you told your parents about me before I met you, because like that is,
I don't think they knew much.
I'm curious why he was out there.
Because he knew I was going on a date and he's protective of me.
Yeah, just because you said most of the time he wouldn't be out there?
No, I was saying he would be out there.
Oh.
People are afraid to see him, so I would be running
They'd
to
wait in
guys'
the-
cars
Yeah.
as they're parked on the
So they would
street
text
to
and
go on
say-
a date. Yes.
Oh, what the hell?
Yes. That's why now you know why I was okay, well, keep talking.
Yeah, so then I park over the driveway or over the sidewalk, get out, and the first words I said to your dad was, "Is it okay if I'm parking or blocking the sidewalk?" And he's like, yeah, you're okay right there. And then I was like, okay, shut the door, walk up to him, shake his hand. "How's it going, Mr. Frantz? Nice to meet you. I'm Brody Frye." And he introduced himself too, and just said, it was just like a brief hello kind of thing, shake hands, and come on inside, Katie's getting ready. And
That's what had me shocked. That's where, like, when I walked in the house also, I didn't turn the corner.
yeah,
Or you didn't even see me because I could hear you talking to him. And then my dad started talking to me, and I'm just like, this man is literally in my house. Like, my dad, like, there's been times where someone's, talked to my dad, whether if it was, like, it was never the first date. It was always, like, a couple dates in where he kind of knew that I was talking to someone or whatever. And he would, like, have them wait in the garage or something. Like, it would always be like I would always walk out to them standing like by their car or like something like that. And then we would go and he'd be like, okay, have fun, have her home at this time, kind of thing. But with you, when I like came down the stairs, like hearing people, so I was like, oh, he's here. And I feel like you texted me too saying like I just got here or
no,
something.
I didn't have time for that.
Oh, I don't know why I felt like you did. Oh, maybe I could have saw your truck pull up, so then I knew you were here.
Yeah.
So I like.
I don't want to be on my phone in my vehicle, especially with your dad. I mean,
Yeah.
I just, as soon as I get there, I get out and go say hi to him.
My bad.
Oh, no. it's okay.
But I think I saw your truck pull up then, because I remember it wasn't that I heard voices. It was like I knew you were here, but I probably just saw your truck pull up because I was waiting for you.
Well, and especially at that time, like I said, or even in the Instagram message that you read, like at the time especially, it didn't use Instagram, didn't use social media. I was just a farm boy that just didn't like being online, and I don't like using my phone, and I don't like texting. And if I'm there, what's the point in texting if I'm there when I can just walk up and say, hello, how's it going, kind of thing. So.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, so that's why that surprised me, is because most of the time there'd be guys like standing by their cars, and my dad coming in being like, kind of like he'd give me a look. He would tell me like, I love you, okay, have fun. But it'd be like a look like, this guy's a schmuck. Very like,
you got another flop out there.
Yeah, literally. But he knew I had my own opinion. I was very opinionated, and if he told me he didn't like someone, I probably want to go after them then. So, I was that kind of kid, respectfully, because my dad knew he was like that when he was my age. So, we had that respect. So he would just tell me like, I love you, be safe, have fun, and be home at this time, kind of thing. And so I always listened to that. I would, but yeah. So that's why I was so like shocked, like. Like you were the only guy that he's just like brought inside, you know?
Yeah. Another thing too is like, I feel, so I'm going to kind of get into life a little bit, but like, I feel like most of like how this situation played out and how it did previously has to do with intentions. I think that's super important. And I think, obviously the reason why those kids didn't feel comfortable or were scared of your dad or whatever is because of their intentions. And naturally, humans don't want to lie. Like, you don't want to lie. It's the hardest thing to do because you're in your body and your subconscious. You're trying to cover up your subconscious with your conscious self. Your conscious self is deciding to alter things that you see fit in a lie. And it's hard to do because you're trying to mask your body language, trying to mask your real emotions. And it's really fucking hard and it's wrong. And if you have poor or bad intentions and now you're trying to go meet this girl and her father's right there, you're going to be all fucking weird and shaky and nervous or whatever, or avoid it at all costs and just be like, I'm better off just sitting here texting. I don't want to go up there. And like, obviously I'm nervous to meet your dad also, but I never had, I went into this seriously and planning for.
I also feel like that's the difference too, is at that age I was 19, I'm pretty sure. And most guys that I would be with necessarily I feel like it doesn't mean that they have bad intentions. I think it's more of like,
they're not looking for a partner.
No, they just think I'm hot or pretty and they're wanting to go on a date with me and then maybe trying to see if I'll kiss them. Like, it's more of they just see me for the time being now and just want to be with me now. Unlike when you went into the date, it was more of, this could be my partner. Right. I could want to marry her. Like that, you always had that future. You always focused on your future. Oh, yeah. And that's why I feel like it's different going into it. Like, it's still stressful. It's still nerve-wracking meeting the family and stuff. Yeah, but on the other hand, like,
I had nothing to hide. That's the thing. I wasn't trying to hide anything. I wasn't hiding my feelings. I was there to see you because I was interested in you seriously as a partner. And I went into that.
Even before you met me.
Yeah. And I met your dad with those pure intentions. Yeah. Not trying to hide anything. And, he understood that. And I made it clear, like, yeah, I'm here to see your daughter and see where things go. There's nothing to hide there.
Yeah, you were the first guy to pull up with a pickup truck. That sealed the deal.
Yeah. Yeah, and at that time I got rid of my stupid piece of shit 2003 F-250 because that was like right around the time, right before I met you, is where I downgraded to my other piece of shit F-150. But it was a beautiful truck. It was a pearlescent white,
it was really pretty.
Two-tone gold King Ranch 2011 F-150.
You love that truck. The only bad thing about it was that the radio or like the Bluetooth didn't work, and that would frustrate you.
Yeah, so I'd listen to the radio or no music.
Yeah. Which I think is crazy, because we would drive places in the beginning of our relationship and it would be dead silent. Like, you would never turn on the music.
Yeah, because I hated listening to the radio. It's the same 18 songs on a loop.
I just thought that was so weird, though. As someone who's very music orientated, like, I would rather listen to the radio and listen to music and skip through stations to a song I like than drive in silence.
I've gone over this before. I'm totally comfortable and confident and content with my thoughts. I know. I can sit in silence for hours.
But yeah, so then I like turned around the corner and saw you were with my dad, and I was like, what? Yeah. He's inside the house right now? And then like saw you, and I think I didn't realize how tall you were going to be. Like, your height. Like, I feel like I thought you were going to be like shorter than what you are.
Yeah.
Which, we're like a cute height together. Like, you're taller than me.
I guess in photos I kind of look shorter.
Maybe, yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I got tall friends, so that probably makes me look smaller.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like you all look like you would be shorter than what you actually are.
Yeah.
I don't know why. And you guys aren't, I mean, you're like,
I guess I'm just nice slim. Proportionally, so it looks like I'm not tall.
Yeah.
You're so cute. Yeah, so anyways, go into the house, and your dad, so the way it works is like through the garage, a little hallway into the kitchen, and then a little hallway out of the kitchen on the other side. So there's like a corner. And
the house is an open plan, but like when you walk in from the garage, it's like basement door, pantry door, and then on the right side, bathroom door. And then it's just like there's a lot going on in that section that like it's very crowded. Like whenever family members would come over, it's like you hear the hi, but you never know who came in. Yeah. Like, you don't know until they like turn the corner and walk out into the kitchen.
Yeah, so that's the thing, is like your dad stopped on the corner. I'm still standing in that hallway, and your dad's like, oh, like, hey, Catie, yeah, Brody's here. Like, and you're just like, oh yeah, he's here. And then he's like looking at me, talking to me, and then he'd turn and look at you, talk at you, but I couldn't see you. I still at this point, like we're like having this conversation, the three of us, and like I still haven't even seen you. And then all of a sudden, like he's like, all right, you guys, like go have fun, go and enjoy your time. And I was like, what? Like I totally was expecting to walk inside and like sit down on the couch, and I thought we were gonna all three have a conversation. I thought I was gonna like have a conversation with your dad. Like that's what I walked in expecting.
My dates, and my dad knows this, is I'm a very like, I base my opinion off of people on my opinion. It's not like you don't hang out with my family unless we're on like the third, fourth date. Like typically I always the first date go out somewhere because I just don't want to deal with, I don't know. I just never wanted to be around people. I want to get to know someone when they're comfortable and I'm comfortable and it's alone, you know?
Yeah. So then it was like, okay. And then all of a sudden you just like squeeze past your dad and walk into my view. And I'm like, wow. Like, you look so freaking pretty. I love you so much. I love you. So walk out and walk to the truck, open your door for you. And wave goodbye to your dad, walk back around, and which I still do every single time we ever drive together. Mm-hmm. Which is crazy that people don't do that. It's not that difficult to open a door for your lady.
Yeah,
for fuck's sake.
He's got a lifted truck too, so he has to lift me into the truck.
I'll lift you up. But that bothers me. Like, why? I just don't understand.
You were the only guy. I think you were the only guy that ever consistently, and at least on the first day, opened up the door.
It's not that hard. It's so easy to do, and it's such a great way to show respect and appreciation. I don't know. I remember, like I told you this before, I went to the bank however long ago, and like and again, even the banker was like, you could have called for this. And I was like, I'd just rather be in person.
Called for what?
What I was doing, just banking. And, and he was just like, yeah, you didn't have to come in and meet with me to do this. You could have done this over the phone. I'm like, yeah, I know. I just was driving by and prefer to be face to face. And but then he made a comment about like, yeah, like I haven't done that since the last time I opened the door for my wife. Ha ha ha, you know what I'm talking about, right? And I'm like, no. But yeah, no, I love you. But it's just an easy, simple sign of respect. So anyways, then we start driving. You're just like, yeah, we could go. I was like, is there any places like we could go for a walk or something around here? And you're like, yeah, right over here. So we drove there and like waiting for you to jump in. No,
that's okay. So I felt like you basically finished it. I was just going to let you talk.
So then we drove there to this little nature preserve. And Stephanie before the date was like, yeah, no, my brother's harmless, whatever.
Oh yeah, so okay, I can fill that in. So then Steph, basically, I was talking to her about it, because I think the difference was too is like, you went into it thinking, because Steph told you like, oh, she's wanting to focus on herself. She did get out of a really messy relationship herself too, like she like, she's trying to focus on herself.
She wasn't laughing at stuff just there, by the way. I just want to make that clear. I just, like, rubbed her legs. Yeah, she started laughing. I know. Sorry, Steph. I don't want Stephanie to listen to this.
I was keeping that quiet. No, it's okay. That's why I didn't say anything.
Like, why were they laughing at me?
No, not at all. I just thought maybe people would assume that you, like, did something or made a face, and that's why I was laughing. I just wasn't going to specify what you did.
Oh, okay. I just want to clarify for Steph.
No, it's okay. We love you, Steph.
Love you, Steph.
But she, like, told Brody, like, I'm setting you guys up, but she is focusing on herself. Like, she got out of a messy relationship, because I did, and like it was still like months after, but it was just, it kept like lingering, and I just wanted to focus on myself. I just was like, I don't want to date anyone. That's how I felt. I was at the point where, like, which this is fine, and like I don't want this to come across a certain way, but I'd have like certain guys wanting to date me or wanting to like pursue me, and I was like, I don't want to date anyone. Like, I don't want to date you.
All the guys wanting to date you.
Yeah, no, no.
I still don't get why you choose me. It's just like,
stop it.
Beyond my wildest dreams. I love you so much.
Well, you're my soulmate. You're my dream guy. So.
Oh my goodness. You're my dream woman.
I still always am in awe that I'm even dating you, because I was told that it would never ever happen.
You're amazing.
I had my dreams crushed, and I was like, "Fuck! I guess I'm gonna focus on myself." But yeah, so then he was going into it thinking like, okay, well, she's pretty and stuff, but you were told that by Steph, and then I was told by Steph like, even though she was trying to set us up, she was trying to like be careful with the both of us, because she loved the both of us, and so she
knew we were different. Like,
yes, we were very different.
Yeah, so she wasn't
very
sure.
Different.
She didn't know if it would work out, so she was kind of like being cautious and not getting her hopes up too much. But
yeah, and she was telling me, she was like, you know what, my brother really likes to take things slow, like, or like, not that he likes to take things slow. She told you that I like to take things slow, but more of like, she was telling me that he's not going to do anything. Like he might hold your hand, harmless. But like that's it. Like he's very just shy and sweet, and like he might, like, I don't know if he's even gonna talk that much. Like, you just like, you know, was telling me like he's not gonna do anything, because I was nervous, because I like, just from past experiences, like I was like, well, I am a little like nervous and like timid about going on this like date, and again, I was focusing on myself, so I like didn't know how to feel, and so then Steph was like reassuring me like, oh no, he's just gonna hold your hand, maybe. That's it, like he's it's fine.
So we're on this walk and just walk in this loop, and it was a beautiful nature preserve, and then all of a sudden, like, we're getting towards the end of it, and
which the walk was like the best part of it. I feel like if we didn't do that walk, it would have been totally different, because during that walk we like got deep. Like, you were literally telling me my deal breaker is when I have a family, I want to have land, because he was picking me up from the suburbs. Like, he didn't know what I was interested in, and I am like, definitely more like city like, and he's more of a country boy. So
that was one of my biggest concerns, was just like, I'm going into this like, you're nothing like anything that I would have gone after before. And
I was not like your normal girls that
I was
you
like,
go after. Same thing. You were nothing like the guys I went after.
Yeah. I was like, I don't want anything to do with the city. Anything, when you get over a 2-story building, I'm out.
Yeah, literally. So he was super sweet the whole time, but he was like, we were talking about life very deep, and like realizing that we have a lot not in common, but we also have a lot of like our morals and
morals, like the foundation.
Like it's so hard to explain, because we didn't have a lot in common.
We're nothing alike, but our building blocks.
But we clicked.
Yeah,
like it was just like we clicked. We had chemistry. We had this like connection where we had certain things in common in a way, and we thought a lot. Life,
the way we saw people, our goals aligned. Yeah, it was just like we are so different. We're so different people, and we can always learn from each other, which is a beautiful thing. Yeah. So there's chemistry because we're different and we have unique perspectives, but our goals and our foundation aligns beautifully. So it's like you have that connection where like it's not going to be you got a couple that has the exact same background kind of thing and their goals align. It's kind of like, yeah, they'll work out, but that's going to be like the relationship where it's like mundane and boring. And
yeah, I feel like in a way, it gets boring and mundane. You also get like kind of feels like siblings too, where it's like you have so much in common that it's like you have almost the same upbringing, the same interests, the same everything, where it's like there's no spice. There's no,
or
like...
you got, like, the roommate type of thing where it's just, like, you just kind of live lives together, and it's, like, you're just roommates. But then you got, like, the fiery, passionate relationships.
Sometimes cuckoo.
Yeah, which are crazy, because you guys have nothing alike, but you guys are both, like, super fiery, like, with each other.
Especially me and you, because we're both very stubborn and very opinionated and very, like, we will speak. Like,
but it's not, like... relationship, and you guys don't have goals aligned or anything in common with each other, but it's just like a fiery, passionate relationship, and so that's like the opposite end of the spectrum. But like we have that sparkly, fireworks, fiery passion because we are so unique, and we're, like our upbringings and how things worked out for us are very different, but the foundation, you get that base, you get that foundation with us. So it's like the perfect blend.
It's like a yin and yang kind of thing. Yes. We balance each other out. Like
that's one thing
and we
too.
also
it's
both
yin
try.
And yang.
Yeah.
I feel like everybody always says yin. It's yin yang. It's not. It's yin.
Yin. I'm sorry.
Y-I-N. Yin and
Sorry.
yang. Just had to clarify. I heard that the other day too, and I was like,
Was that when Russell said it? Because I know
I don't
he said
think
it
so.
recently.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Oh. You hear that everywhere. Yeah, no, it's not yin. It's yin and yang. Okay.
But, my goodness.
Sorry.
But it's okay.
I just hear that a lot, and it's just like...
He's fired up right
It's
now.
like the whole... Like, what's the whole... What's that other thing people mix up? Take things for granted. Like when you take things for granted. Like The Rock. Har.
That's not what it is, though,
No,
right?
it's not.
Oh, okay.
But everybody says that. Everybody's
take things
like,
for granted.
Yeah, granted.
Yeah.
That's another thing people just like skim over.
I thought, no, because I was thinking granted, and I thought you were saying, like, no, it actually originated as granite.
Yeah,
I thought you were
because of
going to,
The
like, correct me. I was like, I was, like, having a little crisis in the corner. Like,
You're so cute.
am I wrong about that one, too?
Yeah. Actually, at the beginning of this podcast, you said one of those things, too, and I can't remember what it was.
Shoot.
I don't remember.
Oh, gosh.
It's okay. I didn't
I'm not
clarify
cry myself
either.
to sleep now.
No, you're adorable. I freaking love you.
It's okay, honestly. I never talked right because I used to have like my my family would never correct me on anything. They would just go, "It's a Katieism."
Yep.
Like,
Yeah, your mom always says that, and it's adorable.
Yeah, but they would never this sounds so bad. But when I was little, I had like a really bad issue with like lying. But it wasn't like me going up and saying I didn't do something. It was never that. It was more of, yeah, and then I bumped into this. Like, I would make stories up, and then my mom would be like, "Is that a Katie story, or is that an actual story?" But it's like things like that where I'd be like, I love my parents. Like, I mean, I love who I am. I love my parents. Like, and even people know I literally can't lie. Like, I literally physically, like, I give everything away. Like, that's why I don't even have the process in my brain to even think of something, because I just speak whatever I'm thinking, you know, where it's like a good and bad thing. But on the other hand,
so cute.
Like, just my parents would always just like laugh about things like that and be like, "Oh, it's just a Katieism," like stuff like that.
So
that I never like really learned. Like, I never got corrected on things. Yeah. They just let me say whatever I wanted to say. And they would just speak. Like, they just knew my language. Like, they would just know what I was saying.
You're adorable.
Oh my gosh. Love you, Mom and Dad.
Anyways, okay, so, yeah, going into the date, my biggest fear was that we'd run out of things to say. And I remember talking to a coworker.
Which we didn't.
It was actually, Matt, if you're listening, it was you. We were talking, I don't know if you remember, but I was like, I'm just so worried about, like, if we run out of things to say. Like, my biggest thing is, like, we're going to be spending so much time together. Like, I'm going down there, we're going to do, like, hang out. Like, I'm just worried that we're going to sit in an awkward silence. Like, I don't want to run out of things to say. And he was like, well, dude, the greatest advice ever, freaking... to that question. He was like, well, if you guys run out of things to say, it's not meant to be, because you shouldn't run out of things to say if it's the right person. I was like, oh shit, I guess you're right. So went down there, had this loop. We talked during this nature preserve loop, and never ran out of things to say. It was like nonstop talking the whole time.
Nonstop.
And it was so fucking hot too.
And that's when you asked to hold my hand.
Oh my goodness, you just ruined everything. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, we've been on this topic for how long?
Yeah, an hour. We should speed this up. You're right. But no, this is a cute romantic.
Because also before we talked about that too, you were like moving on to what we did after the forest preserve, and I was like, wait.
Oh, I was?
Yeah, you were.
Oh, well, anyways, yeah, it was towards the end, and I was like, we were walking back to the truck, and I'm like, do you mind if I hold your hand? And you're like, yeah, no, it's okay.
Yeah, we can hold hands.
Yeah, so I hold your hand on the way back, and luckily I never
Did you actually ask me?
Yeah, I did.
I don't know why I feel like you, like, held my hand.
Oh, maybe. No,
maybe we were walking close where, like, maybe it was one of those things where we were walking really close where, like, our hands were, like, touching.
Maybe.
So I probably thought like,
it's gonna happen. Yeah. So I remember asking you, because I was trying to work it up. I was trying to just be like, okay, just do it, just ask, just ask, just ask. So I did, and then we held hands, and it was so hot, and I remember the exact hat that I was wearing because I got a huge sweat ring on the inside because I was so hot when we were walking.
Yeah.
Because of you. I love you.
Because of you.
So we get back.
Sorry, you guys can't see me. Sometimes I forget about that. I just like opened my eyes wide and was like, huh? Like,
you still acted out. Sometimes I forget you guys can't see me. Acts it out again.
I'm sorry.
But
it never ends.
You're so freaking cute. But then we're just like, okay, so what do you want to do? And you're just like, oh, we can go out to Outback. Outback is right down the road. So I freaking love Outback. So, and you're just like, yeah, I never know. You told me that later.
No, I think I went. I actually do think I went one time to Outback.
You're like, oh, it's my favorite place. I'll take you to my favorite place. We always
I
go
never said that. I never said that. I'm pretty sure, honestly, because you were driving to come pick me up. I don't know why, but I feel like I remember you. Or it could be a Catie story. Who knows? My parents never taught me right from wrong. But I feel like you said something about Outback because you could have passed it on your way. Because you always took 59.
I love Outback, yeah.
You always took 59. Yep. So I'm pretty sure.
I avoid highways at all costs.
And it's off of 59. So I'm pretty sure you said something like where I said, hey, let's go get some food. I'm hungry. And you responded with like, I think I saw an Outback. Yeah. And I was like, okay, let's go, kind of thing.
You're so cute.
Because I just think it's so weird. I would have never brought up Outback. I would have said like Chick-fil-A or like McDonald's or like so that's like the places I go to.
That's because
Culver's
that's because your all your previous dates were with chumps.
Schmucks,
yeah.
But yeah, so that's why I feel like you brought it up because you would go to Outback. You've been to Outback, or my parents would take me to Texas Roadhouse, but I never would go to Outback. I've only gone there once, so I feel like you probably passed it off at 59 and then said something about it because you were like, "Fuck, well, she wants to go get food."
Texas Roadhouse is okay, but JJ got the cops called on him when we were there one time, so that was.
We won't go to that one. This one was in the
I'll save that story for when he's on next, and he's going to be embarrassed that I brought that up, probably.
Yeah, everyone's going to turn to him at work like, her?
The fuck? Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweetest man ever gets the cops called on him.
Yeah, he just has bad luck.
Yeah, he does, that poor guy.
He really does.
Anyways, Baron Bailey, please stop fighting.
They just started, baby. Yeah. It's fine.
I know, but I can hear him scruffing around. But then we go have dinner again.
Dinner.
I was so nervous driving up to that.
Also, speaking of this too, literally this whole date, he like, it was like a first date, but in a way, it's like he got to tell me about him. Because I've been friends with Steph for so long, and like a lot of things were happening in their lives when Steph was in beauty school, and so I would be there with Steph, and like she would just update me on like family things and just what's going on and all of that, to the point where like going into this date, I knew everything about this man. Like not everything about him, but like I knew about like his past relationship. I knew how it went down. I knew how they broke up. I knew everything about his dad. I knew everything about his mom. I knew, like, I met his mom.
You knew the whole mess of my life, and you still chose to go on a date with me.
And I remember you saying that at Outback too, where you were like, well, you kind of know everything about what's happened with me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is funny too, because then I still bring up stories and stuff like nowadays that you're like, I never knew that about you.
Yeah.
Like still. just the other day, I was like, oh yeah, like my snowmobile, blah, blah, blah. And you're just like, you have a snowmobile? I'm like, oh yeah.
Yeah, that part you never told me about that stuff. I only knew about your T-Bird and your truck.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and then the boat, you never knew I had a boat.
Yeah, what the heck? I'm still angry.
I literally, 18 years old, had life by the balls. I had everything.
Well, it was under certain circumstances, so.
Yeah, it was, but.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Do you still have the boat?
I don't know.
Think it was sold?
It's either buried somewhere at the farm.
Because if you have the boat, you definitely would be able to figure out how to.
Oh, damn.
Figure it. Yeah, we've been.
Mister's going off again.
Yeah. We've been here for a little bit. This is an off the podcast conversation. Sorry, guys.
Yeah. No, this is going to be on.
No, I mean like now.
Oh.
Like I mean, let's move on with the topic.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's okay.
The boat's either buried at the farm or sold somewhere. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff buried at the farm. But anyways, so yeah, I was worried driving to Outback because I'm like, we just walked this loop at this nature preserve, and now I'm like, we're gonna run out of things to say. Got this whole drive, and we got to go sit down and have dinner.
Yeah.
Oh god, that was my biggest concern. And
running out of things to say.
Yeah.
That's so funny. My whole thing was I just didn't want to get my heart broken.
Aww.
And I really, really liked. This is the thing too, is I really, really liked you. And I am the kind of person where I am very skeptical, especially from my last relationship. I like do not move fast. I like am very slow, keep them at a safe distance. Like, and going into this date, it was like I thought you were really, really cute and I really, really liked you. But in my mind, it was like I always had this barrier between us because I knew you just got out of a relationship and I didn't want to be the rebound and I didn't want to be the second choice or anything like that. Like I didn't want to get my heart broken and you'd be like, okay, done with you kind of thing. Like you had your little experience venturing off of the farm, dating someone new and then whatever. And I knew things were still being figured out between like you and your ex and stuff too, that I just like...
Yep.
wanted to just be at such like a safe distance and was more like I remember telling Steph being like, well, it'll be good because then I can just like help him because I got out of like a bad relationship and so I'll be able to just give him insight and like, you know, have him branch out and like be a friend to you. Like that going into it, like I thought you were cute and of course I still had this little part of me that was like nervous and like wanted to like look good and like still be cute. Like I still found you attractive and was interested in you, but I like went into it wanting to be more of like your support friend, if that makes sense, than it being like I wanted to date you or like anything. It was more of like I was going into it like I want to just like be in this man's life and be his friend and be there for him as he's going through such a tough time, you know, like that's I just cared about you subconsciously. Like that's so weird at age 19 to feel that way. Oh, I just spit. Feel that way about someone. Well, that I just cared about you.
You felt probably invested because of everything you've heard from staff and you guys like kept updated on my life kind of thing. So you probably felt invested emotionally before we even had our first date.
Yeah, so and I like and I talked to you too and with how sweet you were and just we always texted. Like we never got bored with texting either. Like we were texting all the time and Snapchatting each other all the time, that I just feel like in my head, it was more of like I don't want to lose him. So whatever I can do to keep him in my life, I will do it. Whether if he's a friend, if he's more than a friend, like I just want this man to be in my life. But I just think looking back, like that's so weird. Like subconsciously, so like I loved you, like, but I didn't think of it that way. But that was so unlike me. And I mean, I guess I had guy friends, but like, so that wasn't weird to me having a guy friend. But like, I just thought, like, I really wanted you in my life, you know?
I love you.
I love you.
Yeah, and, like, just when we were at that nature preserve, too, like, the holding the hands thing was such a big thing for me because for me, I was like...
I just bring this side out of you.
Yeah. No, I was just like, this has to... My fear was that, like, yeah, like, you wanted to talk and, like, hang out and be there for me, and I know you... Like you said that, like in our messages, and then I was like, if I make this like a hangout, then I'm gonna miss like. There's a balance where like I could move too fast. It's a first date. I could move too fast, scare her off. But also the other thing, my biggest concern was that the friend zone thing. Like I don't want, because you said that you could hang out and be there and listen and talk and be there for me. And so I'm like, fuck, I gotta shut that down real quick, but I can't shut it down too quick because like I was like, how do I get past the friend zone thing without pushing her away? And I was like, I gotta hold her hand here on the first date, on the first thing. And so I held your hand and then go have dinner, and then at Outback, that was awesome. And then after dinner we go to downtown Naperville. I talk about how it's the city the whole time, and And you're like, this isn't the city, and then there's this beautiful river walk in Naperville.
Yeah.
So we like go down to the bottom and walk this river, and at this time it's getting dark out and there's lights and ducks swimming around in the river, and the water's reflecting the lights, and we find this bench.
I was making him feel like home while he was in Naperville. So, I took him to a forest preserve.
Yeah.
We went to Outback.
Yeah.
We went to, that vibe of Outback. And then we went to downtown Naperville. But I went, come to the Riverwalk.
Yeah, exactly. And then sat down on the bench, cracked a beer. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh my gosh, no.
I wasn't even drinking beer at that time. But then...
no, you were just having Mike's Hards.
Yeah, occasionally.
Yeah.
But
which also, wait, I don't know if you're gonna get embarrassed with me saying this.
What? Say it.
Okay. Well, at the time, like Brody, again, were you 20? Yeah, you were 21 and I was 19, which is so crazy to think about that we're older now, like 23. I
never had any sips of alcohol until I was 21.
Yeah, no, he was very, very responsible. He knew I wasn't.
Goal-driven and focused, and I didn't care to party like that.
Yeah, no. And with me, I never partied. Like, I wasn't around the scene where I got invited to parties because I made a fool of myself. Not in a bad way, but in like I just, like, everyone's got their own high school experiences. Yeah. I struggled with finding, like, a friend group. So then if a friend group was trying to take me in, like, I just didn't I tried to be cool.
I struggled with fighting off friend groups because I didn't want to be a part of any of them.
So, like, at the end, like, I would say at the end of my high school experience, it was, like, I just was a part of friend groups with everyone. And I was the kind of person where, like, I didn't let the stuff go by. So, like, if someone was being mean to someone, I would say something. Like, I'd be like, if someone was gossiping about me behind my back, the amount of times I went up to someone and was like, so you said this, what's your issue? Yeah. Tell it to my face. Like, I was very much like that, too, where I feel like people didn't like that because I just didn't like the gossipiness of things. But on the fast forward though, on the other hand, it's really funny because when we were at Outback too, I remember you talking to me and being like, yeah, and like Steph has told me, like, which it's totally cool with me, but that like you already kind of drink and like, and I know like you're 19, like I'm 21 and stuff. He's like, but I just want to let you know that like my house is like a safe space. And this also did not like, because some guys this would come across creepy, but it did not at all with you. But you were just like, maybe one of the times you come over, you can like, because you were already planning other times of me coming over, and you were like, maybe you can like come over and spend the night and like maybe we'll have like some drinks together. And he went, and I just want to let you know, like, so you feel like safe or comfortable, we can totally invite Steph over and she can spend the night too and be there with us, and the three of us can drink together. Yeah. And I just thought that was so sweet that you said that. And you were just like, and the fact that you immediately were like, but for your comfort, just so you know, like, Steph can also spend the night and drink it, just like the three of us, and she can spend the night just so you feel comfortable. Like,
and Steph was I just thought that was
so. Yeah,
she spent the night with me regularly, anyways. So I mean, it was a 2-bedroom house.
Yeah, and also when you said that to me, like, that never came across a certain way, especially since like I can say like the guys. The age group that I would always go after was 2 years older than me. So it was always guys that were like, had alcohol, but like the way you went about it was like so sweet on our first date, and just like mentioning that and just knowing at that time too, all you drank were like Mike's Hard.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, literally. Yeah, because I was such a lightweight and I never drank. I still am. I like couldn't.
Not as much anymore.
Well,
I don't think so. Not to that extent.
Yeah.
I think more though, you drink, but the more you drink, it's more like before you would be a lightweight where you would like actually get drunk. And like now I feel like you drink and you get loose and you're the life of the party, where you're like cracking jokes where everyone thinks you're hammered, but you're really not.
Yeah. Everybody's like, oh, he's gone. He blacked out hours ago. And you're just like, nope, that's Brody.
The only reason like when you're actually hammered is because you start like actually doing stuff that's like crazy. Like you'll start like knocking drinks over, like making a mess. Like you'll start like making a mess of things. Like you can be goofy and funny and silly and do things that are a little questionable and only be feeling it and not be drunk. But like the moment you start knocking stuff over and like knocking drinks without a care, not even cleaning them up, is when we're like, okay, because you're a very clean person.
Yeah.
So then just like, if anything gets knocked over, we're like Baron's tail always knocks things over, and you're the first one to hop up and grab a paper towel,
Yeah,
you know?
I'm like losing my shit over the carpet. I'm like, no.
Yeah, but the moment you're like even like our Halloween party, you just start knocking all the drinks over just because everyone's was reacting.
Yeah, we had
you know?
like 20 cups of drinks on the table.
Yeah,
And I'm like, hey guys,
full of alcohol.
and I just like sweep my arm across the table.
That's when you know that you're hammered. That's when I'm like, okay, like,
yeah,
you need to drink some water.
yeah, literally.
Okay, but the river walk. Sorry.
Yeah. You want to walk us through that?
Oh, that was a nice little jokey joke there. Yeah, I can.
What? Jokey.
I said the river.
Oh, yeah,
back to the river walk.
Yeah,
And you went, you want to walk us through that?
Oh, you're so sweet.
Dang,
you're so much smarter than me.
But basically, like we were in downtown Naperville. I also remember us like catching up about like life too, like just talking about stuff, talking about life, and like friends and stuff like that. Like we were really going in depth about like our the moment we met, we were like talking about like our past friends and just everything, and which is so crazy how naturally it came. And then we walked down to the river walk, and he kept making comments when we'd cross the street, being like, because I grew up where like my parents grew up in the city and grew up like actually like in Chicago, so it's like, you know, if there's no cars passing around the street, they would look both ways and just run across the street, you know?
Absolutely not.
I know, I'm Brody. Now you're a little bit more lenient to it. I can say you're still very like safe, and I respect that of you, and you make me feel safe, so there's a reason why. But on the other hand, like when I would try and do that, he would be like, no, we can't do that. And so we would like wait for like the walk sign or whatever, and we would walk, and then we got down to the river walk, and I was just like, you know, it was really, I feel like around that time we weren't talking about much. We were like more, you were looking at everything. I was talking about downtown Naperville, and you were saying how pretty it is and how like this river walk is so pretty, and like there's no places like this where I live, kind of thing. And then we like sat down. We got farther down into the walk, and we sat down on the bench, and I don't even remember. We were talking about so many different topics that like I don't even remember what we were talking about at that time. Do you want me to talk about what happened
Go
next?
ahead.
Okay. But then I'm like in the middle of talking, and he like, and then it gets quiet. Like the first time in our whole date, it gets super quiet. And he like looks at me, and he like goes to say something.
Because we sat down on the bench.
Yeah, I thought I already said that.
I don't remember. Sorry.
Because then I said we sat down on the bench, and then I turned to you and said, do you want me to continue? And then you were like, yeah.
Yeah, and it was beautiful.
He wasn't even listening. He's like, continue. Not even listening to anything I'm saying.
No, I'm just thinking like the ducks swim. It was so cute. The ducks swimming. It was just like moon lit out.
And also, if anyone knows downtown Naperville, there's like really beautiful lights that are the like string lights around that area.
So pretty,
and it's because it's the summertime.
But there was trees everywhere in this portion because we were down at the end of the river walk. So it was like foresty, and you could see the ducks and the water rushing. So it was like,
and also it was, I'm pretty sure around this time it was like the sun was setting.
Yeah.
So
no,
like
it was dark. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the sun was setting when we were walking in downtown Naperville, and then when we were walking in the middle of the river walk, it got dark.
Yeah.
Because we were walking for a while, but so then it was like you could see like the moon kind of like hitting the water. Like it was just really beautifully lit. Yeah. Because I still feel like it wasn't dark because I remember seeing your face.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
You know,
because there was lights everywhere too.
Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like it wasn't nighttime. I feel like it was like setting.
Yeah. I remember it being darker, but you could be right.
Oh, well, I don't know.
Because there was like lights everywhere, and I remember seeing the reflection of the lamps off the water.
Oh, maybe. But also remember, in this moment that I'm talking about, we sat there for a while.
Yeah, we did.
And talked.
Because I drove home in the dark.
Because I feel like... Okay, so I'm just going to talk about what happened. So he, like, went to go say something and then didn't, and then, like, kept looking at me. And he, like, he didn't, like, even... I don't even think you said, like, any words. You just were, like... And then you, like, wouldn't say anything. And so then and then you were, like, And you, like, I don't even remember the words you said, but you, like, said something, but it, like, didn't make sense. And so I, like, turned to him and I was like, are you trying to ask me to like, kiss me? Or, like, are you trying to ask to kiss me? And you were like, yeah. And I was like, okay, like, I want to kiss you. And you were like, okay. And then we went and we gave each other a little kiss.
A little kiss is the greatest kiss of my
I
fucking
know.
life.
No, it was. I remember going home that day and telling my mom about it, and
You
her
did?
being like, "Yeah." And I told my mom everything.
I know you do.
Yeah, like she was literally sitting there, had her soap opera on, or had some Criminal Minds show on with popcorn the moment I got home, and was like, "How'd it go?" Like that's just how she is. So sorry for anyone who's listening on a headset. That was pretty loud. But yeah, so I told her about it and said like, I felt sparks and it was perfect and all of that, and it was like the best kiss ever.
Because
that's what changed everything for me.
I remember what I said, because we were sitting there and I was just like, yeah, like I don't know if because I knew, I was like, yeah, I'm not going to be able to see you all week because this drive is too long to be able to see you during the week. And I was like, I really like you.
Did we really go a week without seeing each other? I
Yeah.
don't think we did after that date. I'm pretty sure we kissed, and then it was
I
like...
think you came up to see the house during the week. You might have. I don't remember. But either way, I wasn't sure.
Our timeline's a little messy.
Yeah. So I wasn't sure, but
blurred.
I didn't expect to see you during the week because
Yeah.
that's a long drive. And I was like, I don't know
think
if I
that
can.
happened, though.
I don't know if I want to wait a whole week to
Yeah.
be able to see you.
Oh, yeah, because you didn't say anything about kissing me, but you like
Yeah.
said something like that where I was
Yeah.
like, are you trying to
Yeah, 'cause
ask
you-
me for us to kiss or something like that?
No, you said, "Are you trying to kiss me?"
Oh, yeah. Okay. Sorry.
It's okay.
Sorry.
I'm good at remembering lyrics to songs too.
You are. You're really good at like lines to things. You're really good at like memorizing lines, like movie quotes, movie scenes, stuff like that. But I'm really good at like dates to things,
Yeah.
or like knowing when I saw a certain movie.
You're better at timelines.
Who came with me? Yeah, like
Yeah.
I'm really good at like like in the moment when things
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah, so I was like, I don't want to wait a week to be able to see you, and I don't know if, I know it's early, but I don't know if I
Yeah.
want to wait this long. And I kind of like was trailing off like
Yeah,
that. And then
you
that's
were.
when you were like,
Uh-huh.
"Are you trying to kiss me?" And I just nodded.
Yeah, you're like all shy about
Yeah.
it.
And then you're like, "Okay." And
Yeah.
then just like we looked at each other and,
Yeah. We had our first kiss.
my God, that was amazing. It was. Honestly, it was weird because it was so special. Like,
Yeah.
I've never felt something like that before. And it was just
Yeah.
like so special. Like, I just like, what I felt was like, it was like our souls just intertwined. It was
Yeah,
amazing. I mean,
it
it
was.
sounds corny, but like,
No, because
I really felt something special. Like, the way you kissed me was just so special, like so accepting. Like, I felt more than that kiss. I felt like I was welcomed home.
Yeah. Oh,
like,
stop. You're gonna make me cry. Stop.
I'm sorry. I'm just being honest. I really felt like you. Oh, are you okay? Yeah. I love you.
Love you.
Like, I felt home and felt welcomed, and I felt like I belonged finally.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
I think for me too, like, sorry, my voice is shaky because he's trying to make me cry and I'm trying to hold it in. But I think for me too, that's what changed a lot for me, because like I feel like I'm gonna like start crying. I'm like this all the time. Like, he's the only, I've been in other relationships where I've like thought of the future or whatever, like serious ones, but like for some reason our relationship, it's like I'll be listening to a love song and start bawling in my car because I just think of me and you. Like, it's just insane. That's why I know it's true love. It's just insane. But I think about you like 24/7 all the time, and I just like cry at little sweet movie scenes or like cry at like love songs and stuff because I just like get so overwhelmed because I think of me and you. But I think that's what changed how I felt too, because like I really, really liked you, and I just remember like I always have been so slow when it came to relationships. I like would date a little bit and I wouldn't rush into things. And I think from that kiss, it was like in that moment, I was like, I really, really like him. I feel like from there, we just like rushed, you know, which also I'm going to ask you about this with our timeline to just dive deep really quick. But I feel like I always thought that we had our first date and then I went to your place but when I went to your place, isn't that when you asked me to be your girlfriend? Or was that later?
I'm pretty sure the first time you were at my house was when
I
asked you to be my
So
girlfriend.
I feel like you came to see me 2 other times. Or
Yeah,
one
because
other
we did.
time.
Yeah, you're right. Because we
went to Bolero.
First date, and then the second date, I came down and we
went bowling. And then I remember.
That's when we had our first picture together.
Yes, and then I do remember one part because you were always very transparent with me and about my feelings.
Yeah.
But then we had like a little consensus, and I don't know why. I remember us being at the Forest Preserve again, like a second time. And I remember you leaning on your car, or not your car, your truck, leaning on your truck and turning to me and saying, just so you know, and this would not be like a first date thing, I don't think. But I remember you leaning on your truck and telling me like, I really care about you, and I just want to let you know that whenever you're ready, I'm ready. And you told me that you, want to take your time, because that was the whole thing. Our whole beginning part of our relationship, because I don't think we rushed into it that quick, because I think we were, like, together for a week or 2 before I was your girlfriend, because you talked to me and you were like, whenever you're ready, I'm ready. I want to go in. I like really care about you. I really, really like you, but I don't want to make you uncomfortable. I don't want you to feel rushed because of what Steph was telling you and how I felt. But then on the other end, I was waiting for you because I was like, whenever you're ready, you just got out of a relationship. Like, I was ready, but I was like, I really, really liked you. But I was like, I don't want to rush this man. He just got out of a relationship. I don't want to force anything. I don't want him to then commit to another girlfriend. Like,
and then wasn't Steph just said something to you at school? Like, yeah, I'm like, after you said we kissed or something. And then she was like, I'm sorry if he's like pushing you or moving too fast or whatever. And then you said that famous line.
I think she said because she asked how the date went, and then I told her that you kissed me, and she was like, what? Or maybe not. Maybe she didn't say that, because I feel like maybe you told her about our date before she even saw me. But everyone around was like, oh my gosh, especially the people that were around when Steph told me, like, oh, he won't do anything, because I had people invested in our relationship.
Yeah. Well, yeah,
from
Steph
beauty school, because
Stephanie
everyone
was
knew
down in Florida on that trip when I told her that I was single.
Exactly.
And then everybody was like, oh my God.
Or when you were ready.
Yeah.
When you were ready.
Or yeah.
Because I knew that you were single for a little bit.
Yeah, because I asked about you. I was like, hey, Steph, like, who's that girl?
Who's that girl? Yeah. But yeah, so then, what famous line are you talking about, though? I'm blanking. Just say it.
You don't remember?
Just say it.
Yeah, it was like, I thought it was when you had said that we kissed, and Stephanie was just like, oh my God. I thought she like apologized, like, oh my God, I'm so sorry if he's pushing you along too much. Like I hope he doesn't like scare you away. I thought it was like something like that, and then you said, I'd be his girlfriend.
Yeah, no, I did say that. Yeah. I don't know if that was after the first date or if maybe if that was after the second one, like when we saw each other again. I don't know if that was after the first date or not. Because I knew I wanted to be your girlfriend, but there was that little side of me that was like, I don't want to rush him.
Yeah.
But maybe no. I think it was after the first date that she said something like that. And she was like, I don't want him to rush, or I don't want him to overwhelm you or anything. Yeah. Like, he does move really fast. And, like, I told him, like, you know, she's not from around here. Like, she takes things a little slower, like, kind of thing. And, and I interrupted her, and I was like, no, I'd be his girlfriend. Like, I did say that. But I think in the back of my head, though, I could have said something, like, after that and, like, told her, like, but, like, again, with the situation,
it was with your exes.
Yeah, and not even that. It was more of, you came out of a relationship. Like, I wanted you to have your time. And I also was like, I wish she, like, saw someone before you met me, because in my head, it was like, sorry, one of the dogs started licking my feet. It like weirded me up because I saw your leg right here, and I was like thinking it was your foot at first, and then all of a sudden I just felt the tongue. It's fine.
Baron's looking at me like he's rejected.
Oh, snaps, no. But yeah, so in my head it was more of, I wanted you to have that space. I wanted you to have that time to yourself, or to date other people, because I wanted to be your girlfriend, and I didn't want to get my heart broken. And I didn't want to be the rebound.
You wanted to make sure it worked.
Yeah, exactly. So I knew we were great together, and I knew my connection with you was very different than I felt with anyone else, and I think that's what scared me even more.
Yeah.
But I think going into our relationship, that's why I remember you sitting like in your truck again, but it wasn't our first date, and you were just telling me like I'm ready when you're ready. And then I remember me turning to you and being like, I'm waiting for you. Like, you just got out of a relationship. Like, I just want you to have your time, like, apart. Like, I just don't want us to rush into things and, like, things happen. Or, like, I remember saying that to you and you being like, well, like, I get where you're coming from, but, like, I'm ready. Or, like, kind of thing.
I don't remember being that specific.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, you didn't ask me to be your girlfriend or anything, but you were just telling me, like...
Yeah. It could have.
Because then you had another moment later on when you like told me you loved me, where you were like, I mean it, I'm not hiding this anymore. Like, that's how you would talk to me about things.
Yeah, well, that was on accident actually, but then it was like
you brought it up later.
Yeah,
you brought it up like a 2 dates later or something. Re-saying it to me. I'm good at timelines.
It was the first time.
I'm good at timelines.
It was the first time you ever came up to the house where I was just like. And I think I actually asked you to be my girlfriend the same day that I told you I loved you, right?
Did you?
I thought it was that night. I thought I was... Because you made me laugh. We were talking on the couch.
Yeah, I remember that. But maybe you didn't ask... Maybe you didn't ask me to be your girlfriend that night. Because once I started going to your place, I would spend... and I would like spend... I'd be there till like 2 a.m. and then go home.
Well, and then same thing at your place, because I remember sitting in your driveway that late at night.
Yeah.
And yeah, but
also I think we should put an account where like we started seeing each other a lot. Where I think we've had way more dates before you asked me to be your girlfriend than we remember.
Probably
because we were seeing each other like once we started seeing each other, we like nonstop,
like every other day,
unless I worked.
Yep.
Like that was it.
Yeah, and then.
And you'd come visit me.
But I remember you made me laugh or something on the couch, like the first time you were up at my place, and then all of a sudden, like I just like started laughing and just like said, like went in to hug you, and I was like, I love you, and then I was like, oh,
that was the second time, or no, that was like the first time I went to your place, and I think it was like our third date together.
Yeah, I remember hugging you and saying that as I'm hugging you, and then like sitting over your shoulder, like.
Yeah, you were really upset.
Fuck me. I just ruined this whole thing.
And I was just like, it's fine. Like, and again, like I always thought like you just came out of a relationship. Like, it's okay. Like, you're probably so used to saying it romantically. Like, it's fine. Like, you have to get used to not saying it. Like, it's totally okay. But I remember even telling Mikey, one of my friends at beauty school, like being in the dispo room with him, like making sure Steph wasn't around. And I remember saying like, I grew up with a family that never said I love you through the phone. Like, never did. Like, they're not that kind of family, which is totally fine. We'll say, like, I love you to each other still, but just, like, when you're talking on the phone, like, we don't do that. We're not very, like, show our love for each other through words kind of thing. We're not words of affirmation people.
Yep.
And, and even then, I was out of a relationship for a little over a year, like, so it wasn't natural to me anymore. And for some reason, when we would FaceTime or when we would like talk on the phone with each other, because we would like a lot when we first started dating, if we couldn't see each other, we'd talk on the phone while I was on my way to like Chick-fil-A after school and stuff. And I just remember every time I'd end the phone call, I'd want to be like, bye, I love you. And I'd always catch myself. And I remember telling Mikey and being like, that's so weird. Like, why do I want to say I love you to him? And I remember Mikey being like, do you love him already? And I was like, I don't know. I don't move this fast. Like, I don't know why I feel. And then that's when like you said that. And when that happened, I think it was around that same period of time too, where then you said that to me and you like felt so bad. And I was like, no, it's okay. Like, it's all good. Like, but I think I wasn't mad about it or like weirded out by it because I was having those feelings too, where I like wanted to say it to you, but I was like, the fuck, like I don't do this, like I don't do it this early, you know. I love you.
Okay, we're way past the first date thing now, and I wanted this to be about the engagement. And
I'm sorry, it's okay. This will be a 2-parter. It'll be the first part.
No, I'm not going to do a 2-parter on this. This is a special episode.
Oh damn. Okay.
It's okay. This might just be the longest episode. I have to go to the bathroom so bad, so we'll be right back, guys. Okie dokie, we are back. Sorry for that little intermission.
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna speak, but
I don't
now
even remember where we left off.
the
We didn't even
coffee's
play.
kicking in. For me at least, you still got half of yours left.
do.
And it's a beautiful day out, and
I know we want to go outside.
I'm going mountain biking today with Russell, and I'm sorry because at the time of this recording, I still haven't even responded to him. So,
oh shit, Russell.
Sorry.
We'll respond to you in a second. Well, it's even like Russell invited us to a bonfire. You didn't even tell me, and I was messaging his wife the whole night, like, yeah, me and Brody are staying home, and we're just getting food, and we're just staying in today. And I'm like, Russell didn't go out to the race. I thought he was gonna go with Alec, and she's like, no. And this whole time, I didn't know that they invited us to a bonfire.
Yeah, it was because he texted me while I was at work, and then I never responded because I got off of work. That's when I was doing all the maintenance and shit on my truck, and I was just like totally forgot. And
we both were really tired too that day. When we got home last night, we went to bed
that
late,
day
but
yesterday.
Still, that day yesterday. Katieism.
Yep. Okie dokie.
Yes.
So you are adorable. I love you.
I love you. So basically, and also really quickly, then one of our dates, I went to his house. Number one, the first time I went to his house, I met his whole family, so that's cool. So I didn't have any time to overthink anything or be nervous because I met his whole family practically. And then he asked me to be his girlfriend, and then I said yes, and then he immediately said, is it okay if I say this?
I don't care.
He literally asked me to be his girlfriend, and I'm like, yeah, I'll be your girlfriend. And then he goes, cool. And then like a couple minutes later going, do you want to see my knife and gun collection? So I was like, well, if I go missing, everyone's going to know where I am. So it's fine. Everyone knows I've been seeing him.
You watch too many crime
I don't.
shows.
My mom plays them to fall asleep. So I'd be like a little girl, like sick on the couch. So my mom didn't have to go up the stairs to like take care of me. Yeah, and there'd be like a girl like handcuffed in a basement, like help, and like my mom would sleep on the remote, so like I couldn't change the channel.
Your whole upbringing is just getting programmed that you're gonna get kidnapped.
Literally,
you're falling asleep when your
live
mind
life
is mostly susceptible.
In fear. I know, it's so bad. But yeah, so that's what I grew up with. But honestly, it's been a lot different. Like when you're a kid, you're just like under your parents' roof, so you don't care much. But that's why now, like, being out of the house, I just can't see criminal stuff like that because I'm like, I just can't. Like, it's just more real now.
Yeah, fuck that. My mind's way too active.
Yeah, like I can't. I'll be like, well, even there was a period of time where my parents watched watched so many horror movies during Halloween that my dad actually had to buy me a cross necklace and get it blessed because I could not sleep. I was so afraid of everything and so just like in my head from all these horror movies.
I can't watch horror movies.
Yeah, and like paranormal stuff that like they literally like got my dad literally like had the priest bless it and put holy water on it. And bought me a necklace and gave it to me to wear, so I felt safe. So I wore that for a while. Yeah. But yeah, so then he asked me to be his girlfriend. I said yes, and then he basically asked me to move in with him, and I told him no in the driveway. Because I was like, no, I'm gonna be moving in with like my best friend, and I want to live on my own before I settle down and all this stuff. And then like a month later, I move in.
You were. Yeah, I asked you.
You were super nice about it, though. You were not upset.
I was like, you want to move in with me? And then you were like,
that was such a... Now knowing things... Guys, literally, like, he had a car that he wasn't using that he was looking to sell. So when he met me, he was like, do you want this car? And I was like, no. Like, I'm not going to take a car from you. Like, no. Which to you, it was just like, okay.
It was,
but to me,
that
I didn't know anyone that just had stuff like that. Like, so to me, that was such a big thing. And in my head, it's like, I loved you so much, but I was so afraid to like be that person to like take that kind of stuff from you. Like, I wanted a beautiful
car too.
I know, I regret it.
Leather seats.
I would have loved
wood
that
grain
thing.
Trim.
And the funny thing is, guys, is literally that car that he had was the same make and model as the car that I actually first had that I learned to drive. I learned to drive with my, with my dad and my mom's like Jeep and their car, but the first car I like had was my grandpa's because my grandpa like twisted his ankle or hurt his leg, so he couldn't drive for like months because he's older, so like it takes a long time for them to heal. So then so someone was using the car, they gave it to me for a while to use, because until he could drive again, they were like, here, take the car. At least it's being run. At least someone's driving it so it doesn't stall and sit in the garage.
You're adorable.
Sorry.
At least it's being run.
Stop calling me out on things.
Sorry. You're adorable.
But yeah, so they let me use that car and I loved it. And I would pick up my friends and drive them to school. I got a car sticker, like the little parking sticker, so I could park in the parking lot. Like I had it for a while and I loved it.
Yeah.
To the point where like I'm very thankful, but my grandpa felt bad that he like didn't like he had to take the car away from me, that he ended up buying me like a car. Which was, I'm so grateful for. That was so sweet. But I did like his car a little more. I did like his car. So ironically, I remember telling you when you were first washing the car in front of me, because you were getting ready to sell it.
Yeah.
And I remember telling you, like, this is the exact same car that my grandpa had. The only difference was the tinted windows. It was the exact same car, same year, same model, same color, same everything. Like, I was like, is there a little rip on this side chair? Because, like, you could have bought my grandpa's car, like joking around, because I knew they ended up handing it down to my cousin, which I had a feeling he probably would sell it. So I was like, maybe you bought it off of him, or like was joking around about that. But I loved that car. So if it would have been like a little later or something, I probably would have said yes. But it was more of, in that moment, it was like, I don't want to be the girl that just takes everything from you. And like, I didn't want to move in with you, because to me, that like felt like a burden. Like that's how it felt in my head. Like it was quick and it was a burden, and I never wanted you to feel like we're together and now I'm taking everything from you.
Yeah.
Like trying to live off of you, you know? Like that was my main concern. So I wanted to be independent, and like, even though I loved that car, I was like, I have my own car. Like it's fine. Like I'm not gonna, I mean, guys, we literally, this was like the first month we were dating. He was like, you want this car? Like, you know, that, it just made me, I just never wanted to come across that way. So, but and then you asked me to move in the driveway, and I tell you no. I was still kind of sweet about it though, but I just was like,
were. I remember being pretty upset about it.
I know.
I did not expect it.
But that wasn't normal to you though. But I mean, it was normal to you, but it wasn't normal to me. I guess I appreciated
that you didn't need me. And well, obviously you didn't need me because we just started dating. But but also you didn't want to take handouts.
There's a difference from where I grew up compared to where you grew up. Like it's very common around like the area you grew up, where like people moved in together, and like it's just more like I lived in, I feel like, not to be political, but I just feel like where you lived, it's more land, it's more like Republican, it's more people settle down really quickly, have families, like even like your best friend was living with his girlfriend of the time. Like it was very common. And also where you lived, like you lived on a big property, you know? So, but to me, like moving into a house was like literally the end step. The only people I knew moving into houses together were like in their 30s, and like or they had apartments together and rented, and just I grew up with just moving slow, and people dating around, and people like sleeping
dragging
around and trying to figure things out. And so that's why it was being just children. So it was like stop, but just like it was so different, our upbringing. So that's why just to me it was more of like that's a huge step kind of thing. Yep. And even though we saw each other every day, it made sense if we moved in together.
You tell me no, and you still never said yes.
And this was also the first month.
You just like slowly
Brody, can I move in with you?
I just noticed the dresser that I had was slowly just getting filled up with your clothes, and then like your all of your stuff, like your toothbrush and everything, and just like next thing you know, in the shower is just full of your stuff, and it's just like slowly over time all your stuff's being like moved in, and then all of a sudden like I just like wake up one day and realize like you've been staying here for the last couple months straight, and I'm like, oh okay, it went from like me asking you to move in and you telling me no to you're just moved in.
And also in my head it was like,
you just didn't want to admit it to yourself.
No. We spent a lot of time together. No, that wasn't it. We spent a lot of time together. Joking. And so I was always spending the night at his place anyways, but then like unfortunately, like at the time, my parents like were kind of struggling with money at the time. There was a lot of stuff happening behind the scenes, and so I just remember my dad making a comment in the garage, like, which he loves me. And I don't even think, I think it was something that he quickly said and that he doesn't even really remember, because that happens. I think he just said something that he doesn't even remember saying that didn't have significance to him, but it did to me, where it basically was like, good thing you are basically living with Brody because we can't afford you, kind of thing. He said it, again, not very mean. He didn't say it mean. He didn't say it like he was kicking me out or anything. It was more in a playful way, but just to me, being who I am, I was like, okay, well, I'm kind of being a burden over here, that I just felt like I am spending all the time at Brody's, that at this point I might as well just move in, like if my parents can't afford me, kind of thing. And so that's why it was like an under the table thing. It wasn't like I think in a weird way, I felt like I was living out of my car, and because I feel like I was. And why are you spacing off?
I'm just thinking about it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I mean, I wanted to move in with you at that point, but I think that's why it was such a, like my ego was in the way. Like, I think it was more of like at that point, I felt like I didn't have a place I was living in. I was living out of my car, basically, and my parents couldn't afford me at the time, and made comments like that, and there were just other things happening that I just felt like I didn't have a home, and so I just kind of snuck my way into your place, if that makes sense. And I think that's why it was just kind of like an under the table thing, because it was like a uncomfortable situation to talk about at that moment. Mm-hmm. Kind of thing. And especially knowing that I told you no, and then this happened literally the span of 2-3 weeks later, I'm just moved in.
Yep.
That I think it was also a little embarrassing for me.
Yeah.
Now it's different. Now, I'm a lot better when it comes to stuff that's your ego gets hurt. I'm a lot better with stuff like that. But on the other hand, just at that moment, I wasn't at all. And I just remember feeling very lost and feeling like I didn't have a place. And then also denying you and then basically moving in. I think it was just kind of I felt bad. Yeah. And that's why I just kind of did it under the table and just moved everything in. And also, you never questioned anything. No. If I brought a bag of stuff, you didn't care. No. You were like, oh, she's filling up the closet, or she's filling up the dresser and stuff. There. Yeah. But, yeah.
I love you. Okay. This is mostly supposed to be about the engagement. We have not talked about that
sorry.
at all. It's okay. I love you. So... yeah, it really turned into more of our life story.
Sorry. Well, I was the one that was listen to our past episodes, and you're right. No, let's dive in.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about us coming together.
When do we ever just skim over our first date?
Yeah, you're right.
We always go in depth about
it. Well, we're well past our first date now.
Or when do we ever skim past our story?
No, you're right. Any excuse to talk about it. So the first date happened. That was the main point. Yeah. I'll just clip the rest of this out of the podcast. No, I'm just kidding. First date. So then I was like, yeah, I just want to relive the first date. I tell Stephanie, we're going right up to the engagement now. Yeah. Planning. I tell Stephanie, she's the first person I tell. She's so excited, so happy. And because I text her and I don't remember exactly, because I deleted all the messages because I didn't want you to find anything on my phone. I never took a picture of the ring. I didn't want you to find anything, because everybody asked me for a freaking photo of the ring. I'm like, I don't have one. I'm not gonna have any chances of it. Yeah. And because Katie's super protective, and she always checks my phone and goes through all of my messages all the time. No, I'm totally kidding. Stop. I'm just kidding. But no, I know the one time that I think, oh, it doesn't matter, I'm safe, kind of thing, you're gonna look at my messages and see it. So I was like, I don't want to have any chances. So no, I deleted all of our messages, but I said something along the lines of hey, Steph, so I broke the news to her somehow, and she was just but softly, I said something where it wasn't obvious.
You broke the news to Steph.
Yeah, and she was just like, what are you up to? Was her response, and I was like, something. and she's like, "Oh my God, are you gonna friggin' propose?"
Oh, that's so
like,
cute.
Yeah, she probably still has it on her phone, but it was adorable, and I was just like, yes. And she's like, "Oh my God," and she like lost her mind and like started sending me all this stuff for the party. She got all of this, so what we did was the engagement, and then because I had to plan the engagement and plan a surprise party because I wanted to like double tap this biatch, and freaking had the engagement plan, and then I waited. The engagement party was so short notice. Like I told most people like a week prior because I didn't want it slipping out. It was the hardest thing I've ever had to do. So we got the ring, kept it at her house, got the little ring case. You always told me that I could propose with a ring pop, so I'm like, I gotta play that in.
Yeah.
Stephanie's awesome. She found this company that 3D prints and had a ring pop ring case 3D printed. It looks like a ring pop. Again, it's on Instagram if you're following me. It's a ring pop, literally ring pop size. It actually works. You can put it on your finger, but it opens up to the ring.
Yeah.
It's so freaking cool. And so we had that. So we relived our first date. I took her down to the walk place, did our walk, went out to Outback, and I'm like, I'm sorry, like it's just a cute little date.
He kept literally telling me like, we don't spend much time together, like I don't want you to get your hopes up, like I just really want to have this date together because I want to like spend quality time and just reminisce about how we met and all that.
Yeah. And so we went to Outback, and the whole time I'm like texting everybody every chance I can get, and I'm just like, all right, house is clear, you guys can go in, decorating team, roll out. And
decorating team,
actually no, I had like these teams set up, and freaking Stephanie and Doug down setting up the proposal decorations and station, and they were doing the recording and photos because Steph has her professional camera. Doug was recording video. And then I had the bakery team, which was actually just JJ. He went to the bakery and got the custom cookies. And then I had the decorating team, which consisted of a lot of people, but they were here at the house after we left, setting up all the decorations, and they went over the top, did a fantastic job. And it sounded like everybody that was there turned into part of the decorating team because it sounds like they all showed up and started decorating. But the leader of that team was Abby Wood. She freaking kicks ass. She was awesome the whole time, and went over the top. The decorations were awesome. So she was decorating team leader. Stephanie was on the road team leader, and JJ got the cookies, which was a huge part, and most of the drinks too. And then, so I had to text Stephanie, like, when we were on our way. But the hardest thing is, like, we had to go down prior so I could show Stephanie where the proposal spot was going to be.
Okay, I have to tell you something.
What?
On the podcast. I'm kind of sweating, but I want to say it right now.
What?
Okay. I might have saw texts before it happened.
Are you serious?
Yes, but I want you to know you convinced me it wasn't going to happen, and all I saw, I will give you the backstory behind it. It was because it was that week that your mom had, like, we were figuring out where we were going to your grandpa's for his birthday, and then the next weekend we had like 3 different things happening, and it was the moment that you said, like, we've seen your family so much, like, you were like acting weird about our plans and nothing was adding up, and you were like, we have seen your family so much, like, about Cameron's graduation, and you were like, I just don't think we should go there. I think we should go to the expo on Saturday and then Sunday, whatever. So in that moment, before we decided that we weren't going to the Renaissance Fair on Sunday, I saw you texted your sister saying, thank you so much, I love you. And knowing Steph, I was like, she probably already bought the tickets. And so Brody's trying to say expo on Saturday because we already promised to Russell. And then Sunday, we're going to the Renaissance Fair with Steph. So when I saw that I love you, thank you so much, I was like, she probably already bought tickets. And that's why he's trying to get out of this graduation for my cousin. So I clicked on the message, and above it, it said your ring pop arrived. And then above that, I think it was, you asked, like, I like skimmed just that page where you said, because I didn't know anything. I had no clue. And I still didn't know when it was going to happen or anything, but I just saw that you asked my dad for his blessing. And I literally remember seeing that and being like, fuck, and like exiting out of the thing and putting your phone away. Because I want you to know, like, when I saw that, I was shaking. I was extremely happy. I was shaking, but I didn't want to spoil it for you. I had no clue what the ring pop was for. I had no clue if it was a code word. I had no clue of anything like that. And also in my head, like, with us talking about money, I was like, maybe he's gonna like actually propose to me with a ring pop. Like, maybe like he can't afford it right now, but that's his way of showing like how much he loves me. And or I was kind of like, we were talking about proposals at the time and getting married, that I was like, maybe he asked my dad for his blessing because I was kind of forcing it on you, like, you should ask him anyways because we've been talking about it, or like stuff like that. And I remember you telling me like, I'm not going to ask your dad unless I have the ring. And in my head I thought, well, maybe he said something to my dad to like ahead of time, like, I am planning to propose to your daughter. So I didn't think it was going to happen. So leading up to the whole thing, sorry, I love you. I love you. And I want you to know too, like, in that moment, I did not see anything. Like, I did not want anything to be spoiled. I didn't know when it was going to happen. I didn't know any of that. But then when you started talking on the podcast and being like, sooner than you all think, and saying stuff like that, I was like, is it going to happen like soon? Like, is this actually going to happen like now? And so then I like brought it up to you, and you were so good at literally you were so freaking good at convincing me it wasn't going to happen. You literally, guys, he would put on like a whole show about how he can't afford it right now and how he can't do that, and like actually made me feel so bad for even thinking that you were going to. Like, I literally saw those first 3 messages and exited out and saw those messages and still was convinced it wasn't happening. Like, you have no idea what torment happened in my head where I was like, I just got my hopes up for nothing. Like, I just read into that completely wrong, and I'm putting this like idea on him that he can't afford it right now. Like, I know the place that we're at right now. Like, he cannot do that right now. I'm sorry. I couldn't keep it from you. So I had to say something. I can tell you're all
It's okay.
down.
I love you. It sucks.
Can you pause it?
No, it's okay. It's okay.
Guys, I can tell how bummed he is, but this is the thing about me is I can't keep things in. Like, I can't not tell you. I wasn't going to tell you the moment you did it. I wasn't going to tell you anything with friends around. I guess the podcast isn't the best time, but as you're talking about leading into everything, guys, I'm literally sweating. Like, I'm sweating and like shaking right now because I just didn't want you to be mad, but I didn't want to keep it from you.
It's okay.
I'm going to cry.
No, it's okay.
But I wanted you to know that like I saw it, but I don't go through your text messages. It was literally because of how weird you were acting with our plans. And then I didn't even like scroll up or anything.
It's okay.
I promise.
It's okay, sweetie.
Because I didn't want anything to be spoiled. That's something so special. Yeah. So I had no clue how you were going to do it. I never saw Steph's reaction. All I knew was that your ring pop arrived, and then above that, you asked my dad for his blessing. Like, that's all I knew.
Yeah.
So that's all I saw. And I was like shaking when I saw it. And I was like, fuck, and like exited out of the text message and like put your phone away. But it was literally just because I already had your phone, because I grabbed your phone to look at our location for that following Sunday for your grandpa's birthday. I was gonna say graduation. Birthday. And then with how weird you were acting about our plans the next weekend, I just assumed Steph bought tickets to the Renaissance Fair and you were trying to like still make Russell happy. And we have been seeing my family a lot, so I thought maybe you were trying to like back out of that to make like Russell and your sister happy. It was just like so messy, and there wasn't much communication, so I thought, oh, maybe like there's tickets bought for both already, so he's trying to like dip out of my cousin's graduation, which is very unlike you. You love my family. So that's what was so weird. So that's why I looked in those messages to be like, oh, maybe tickets are bought for both. And I saw the thank you so much, I love you. So since you said the thank you so much, I thought, oh, she probably texted him asking for tickets. And I clicked on it to see like the day and time.
Yep.
And then it was that message. And I was like, fuck. And I exited out because I don't go through your phone. That's the thing. So I like I was happy, but I was kind of mad that I saw that. But I still had no clue like when it was going to happen. And then Steph literally asks me to get my nails done and everything. And the way you kept telling me that it wasn't going to happen, you had me fully convinced. Like, I thought I was crazy. I thought it wasn't going to happen. You can ask anyone at the salon and everything. Like, I was convinced I was going to be coming back and that I got my hopes up and that this still wasn't going to be happening for like another year or so. Like, the way you would tell me like you really can't afford it and like you just can't get the ring and like you just can't afford a ring right now and they're so expensive and you know what you would pick out for me but you just can't right now and like you feel so bad about it, and you would tell me that stuff when I would bring it up, that like it convinced me. Like I had like literally walking up to that like marry me sign, like I had no clue. Like I was fully convinced that it was all in my head because the way you convinced me. Like, you're the man that literally bought a bunch of Applebee's and a bunch of alcohol for my 21st birthday, and I had no clue that there was a surprise party. Like, you are so good at playing off that something isn't gonna happen, or you're very relaxed and you're very just like, you're so good at it that like I literally am sitting there being like, fuck, like this isn't gonna happen. Like, I'm not, like, he's so right. Like, why am I even thinking that it's gonna happen when I know the situation that we're in and that we can't really afford it right now? Like, why am I even thinking this way? And so I was a lot of torment. Like, I was fully convinced, even off of those messages, that it wasn't going to happen. And I want you to know that. Like, I didn't read anything else, and I did not believe that it was going to happen at all from the way that you talked to me.
I love you. It's okay.
I just ruined this episode.
No, you didn't. I love you. With all my heart. It's okay. It still worked out amazingly.
I was still shocked. I was completely shocked.
Yeah.
I just couldn't keep it in. I was sweating.
Yeah. It's okay. I love you. So we had those texts. Yeah, so we planned this all out, and the hardest thing for us was, baby, it's okay. I love you. Hold these my hand. I love you. Okay, guys, we are back. We had to take a little intermission.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
I just felt really bad.
It's okay. Thank you for being honest.
Uh-huh.
I love you.
I love you.
Yeah, it's a lot of emotions.
Uh-huh.
Cutie. I don't know why the neighbors just deciding to saw things, I guess.
It's
I don't think
it's probably
they can.
the same neighbor too that always makes noises.
Yeah, I don't know. I doubt you can hear that on the audio, but
Hopefully not.
sorry. That's why I was like pausing. But I love you. Everything's okay. It's okay.
I love you.
I love you too. I just wanted everything to be perfect for you. That sucks. I thought I was clean about it.
I know. It was just that. I didn't even think going into the text message it was going to be what it was. I just literally 100% looked into the text thinking it was going to be stuff.
Were we driving or something? Or when were you?
No, it was when we were on the bed and you were like talking about your grandpa's birthday and you were like, we're going to be going.
So I was sitting next to you when you saw it?
No.
Oh.
You were talking about how we were going to be going to like your grandpa's birthday at his place because we always go there. And I was like, no, it's actually going to be at your mom's place this time. And
we were going back and forth, and I was like, because at the time I thought I was doing a showing in the middle of it, like I was gonna have to leave. So I was like, well, when I thought it was gonna be in Rockford, it was gonna be perfect. Sorry, okay. I'm away from the mic. I thought when it was gonna be in Rockford, it was gonna be perfect because I could go straight to work, like literally 10 minutes away, and come back and come pick you up at your mom's, and which I didn't end up doing the showing anyways. But I turned to you and I was like, I don't know where my phone is. Can I go on your phone and look up the group chat to see? And you were like, yeah. And you didn't bat an eye or anything. So I was like, okay. So I looked at the text message and was like, yeah, it's going to be at your mom's. And you were like, oh, okay, I'm going to go shower. And you like got up, and I was like, and I turned to you and I was like, do we still know what we're doing for our plans for next weekend? Like, do we know where we're going? I can hear the sawing. I'm like, do you know what our plans are? And then that's when you were like, because we've been talking about it for the past couple days. And that's when you were like, well, we've been seeing your family a lot. So I just feel like, because you were talking about like the Reptile Expo going with Russell. And I was like, but isn't the Reptile Expo Saturday and Sunday? And you were like, yeah, but I want to go Saturday. And I was like, okay, well, we have plans on Saturday. And that's when I was like, are we going to the Renaissance Fair? And you were like, I don't know yet. I don't know if we are. I don't think so, but I don't know. And so you're just like being so like all over the place with the plans, and it made no sense. So I just was thinking, since, I mean, it was either go to 2 things or go to my cousin's graduation. So I thought maybe we already okayed the 2 other things and you felt bad. So you were trying to back out of it from the graduation. It just was very out of character for you. And probably because you had so much on your mind going on anyways with the planning and everything. So it was coming across a certain way, but you just weren't acting the same, and you were acting kind of off. And so I just went to look into the phone, because I actually, before I even looked at Steph's message, I looked at you and Russell's. I clicked your guys' messages to see if maybe Russell did say like, yeah, dude, we're only going to be there Saturday or anything. And then when I looked on there, all he did was send you the link thing and send like, yeah, we're so excited or whatever. And so I was like, okay, he didn't say like specifically Saturday. I don't know why we can't do Sunday. And then I got out of those messages and saw the I love you so much, thank you, or you're the best, you texting Steph. And so I thought, oh, she probably bought the tickets and he's just trying to like convince me not to go to the graduation party. And so then I clicked on that because I was like, oh, that would make sense why, like, he's pushing Saturday Reptile Expo and then Sunday, I don't know yet, but possibly Renaissance Fair. And so then, but he just doesn't want to confirm it with me yet. And so then that's why I clicked on that thinking she bought you the tickets, and then I saw everything. And you were in the shower at that time when I saw everything. Because it was just, we were in the middle of talking about plans, and it was just so like all over the place, and I don't know, it seemed very much not like you. And so that's why I was just like, maybe he feels bad because maybe we confirmed plans and already got tickets for everything, and then we forgot about my cousin's graduation, and so he's trying to back out of it. Like that's all that popped to my head about it. And in your head, you're probably planning all this other stuff, so you're not knowing the way you're coming across, but it just seemed so weird to me, like out of character for you. So that's why I just was like, maybe they confirmed stuff that he like doesn't want to tell me about, like thinking like bought tickets. And so then, because both of the events too, you had to buy tickets to go like ahead of time. So that's why I looked into the message thinking, oh, Steph probably bought the tickets then, and now we're going to the Reptile Expo on Saturday because he doesn't want to disappoint Russell and Mel. So then I looked in the message and then saw the above and immediately just like panicked and exited the message, because even though I don't like surprises, like that was the one thing that I did not want to take away from you, was the way you did it. I didn't want to read anything if you were, because I had a feeling since you talked to Steph that she was going to help with it.
Away. It wasn't for me.
I know, but I didn't want to.
It's for you.
I know, but I didn't want to spoil anything. I didn't want to then read the message and risk seeing pictures of anything, seeing how you're going to do it. The ring pop thing, I thought it was a code word. Like I had no clue what it was, and then I thought, well, unless he's actually just doing it with a ring pop, because I know like our situation with money, like it was more of that. Like it was, I read that and didn't want to spoil anything, and so then I left the message because it was a completely not what I expected to read when I went in there. And I don't read your messages, so it was like the one time I do is I spoil something like that. And you
probably told all the girls at the salon about these messages, and that's why Kat messaged me out of the blue. So it was freaking weird.
Yeah. That's why she messaged you out of the blue, because that was the weekend that we had all those weird plans, and it was really like not.
She like messaged me so weird. It was
because she wanted to know that if you were actually going to propose that day on Saturday, that she wanted to know if you were going to or not, because then she would take the showing. That's why.
Yeah, she messaged me like
because she knew about the text messages and she knew about that, and so that's why she like it was her guys. It was like her birthday, so she like didn't want to work on her birthday, and I didn't want her to work on her birthday. I was like, either way, he'll figure it out and it's fine.
Yep.
But she just didn't. She wanted to take it over if you were gonna propose.
Yeah. Well, from my perspective, I get a message from this girl out of the blue saying, "Hey Brody, are you available to talk on a private phone call?" Out of the blue, and I'm like, not touching that with any length pull ever. Delete. And I just never responded. And
she said something being like, "It regards Catie," or the best interest of Catie, or something
she's
like
that. She said like, "Don't worry about Catie." Like,
it's because she knew I didn't want her to take the showing. So, and I even told her too, if she did that, I was like, I don't want to know. So then if you're taking the showing, I'm going to know. Like, that was the thing too, is I didn't want to know anything. Like, I didn't expect anything. And then, like, just based off of some podcast episode clips of you talking about, like, the Chase Bank, like, taking money out, and then talking about, like, sooner than you guys all think, it just made me think, like, oh my gosh, like, is he gonna do it soon?
Well,
like,
just
what is
stop
this?
listening to this podcast then. No,
yeah, I know, but it was the way you were talking about
No,
everything too that, like...
No, I know. That I was trying to drop hints because I was excited, but...
I know.
This was literally planned out for months.
Yeah, and it was planned out longer than I even knew. Like, I didn't know the length of you've been texting stuff. I didn't know anything. I didn't know when you had the ring. I didn't even know if there was a ring.
Months prior, when Stephanie was saying, "Oh, like my nails like person, like I don't want to go to them anymore for whatever reason." Like, she was talking to you like while we were in the garage, and you two were having your bonding time, and she was talking about how like she's not liking her nail person anymore and wants to find somebody new. Like, that was all part of the plan.
Yeah.
She freaking kicks ass, and that was part of the plan because I didn't want to have it be like Steph messages you out of the blue and says, "Hey, you want to go get your nails done?" when you guys typically don't.
Yeah.
So we had to set this up way in advance. Like, we had to stage this so it wasn't out of the blue, where Stephanie's like having problems with her nail person. And then all of a sudden, then she's just like, "Hey, do you mind if I tag along with you one like this time?"
Yeah.
Like that kind of thing. So it wasn't random.
Yeah.
So, because like I was doing my best to cover every single base that I could.
Yeah.
Because your nails had to be done for the photos for the ring, because I wanted to make sure that was taken care of also. But I thought I covered my bases and cleaned up my tracks the best I could.
No, you did though. That's the thing. It was just the way you were talking about that weekend. I thought it was so weird. Like it, and just the way, like, again, like, I do want to say this so you don't come across a certain way, but like, you love my family, and you talk about how much you love my family, and you do spend a lot of time with my family, and they invite us to a lot of stuff. So when you said that whole thing about the graduation, about not going, and like, we didn't go to Trinity's, but at the time, like, we weren't close with them, so like, they didn't, and also I'm pretty sure we were busy for Trinity's graduation, so we didn't go. But you were just saying how, like, it was weird, or like, it would feel weird to go to Cameron's but not Trinity's, and you were just like, and we've been seeing your family a lot, and like, you just said something like that where it was just like, the way you said it felt weird, where I was like, but it wasn't like he's hiding a proposal from me. It was like, and not that you were gonna do it that weekend, but like, in my head it was more of like I wonder if everyone bought tickets and like we forgot, because also we just had the barbecue with my family when my dad was like, "Don't forget Cameron's graduation parties that day," and we're all going, that I thought, oh shoot, maybe like tickets are already bought and we forgot about it, and so now he's trying to just like make reasons why we shouldn't go. Like, that's what popped in my head, where I was like, and we're always on top of our plans. Like, if we're doing something, we always figure it out. So it was like the up in the airness of everything that made me feel kind of like, what is, like, why are you acting so weird about these plans? Like, why are we not figuring this out? Why is it just all up in the air constantly? That's what made me like not know what, like, I didn't know what was happening. So that's why, and there's a lot of times where things get planned or like Russell reaches out for a bonfire and I have no clue about it at all until I talk about it later in the day after already messaging Mel, and then he's like, oh yeah, they were trying to invite us over for a bonfire, like earlier today. Like stuff like that where there's some things I don't even know about. Like you won't even tell me. So that's why I was like, well, if I look, maybe tickets are bought or something. That's the only reason why I looked. And then again, the moment I saw it, I was actually kind of proud of myself because I'm not good with surprises, and the fact that I saw it and like stopped myself. Like I immediately was like, I don't want to ruin this. Like this is such a big thing in my entire life, and it went so perfectly, and I was still so shocked and had no idea about anything because you were so good at convincing me that
I feel like I had to jump over every fucking obstacle because everything just kept getting ruined because like literally like 2 weeks prior you're like, I'm gonna go get my nail, or like you just got your nails done, and I'm like, motherfucker.
Okay, but also guys, I had 3 nails broken, and I work in the hair industry, and I take many photos and do a lot of showings for bridal dresses, so I have to have my nails done because I'm representing the company.
Yeah, well, I'm just like trying to like stop you from going. I'm like, I don't know, it's like really, money's tight, I really don't think you can probably stretch it out just another week or so. Like
you didn't say anything. I just went and did it. You didn't say anything about my nails.
You went from not getting your nails done to boom, 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 like 3 in a row, where it was just like you had ones done, and I'm like, I texted Stephanie, I'm like,
ones, yeah,
I'm like, fuck, Steph, she got her nails done. I'm sorry. And she's like, okay, that should give us enough time. That'll be perfect because now like,
those nails suck.
Now like 2 weeks from now, I got it. Like everything scheduled. Like this will work out, and then all of a sudden, like between you do it again, and I'm like, damn it, because I remember texting Stephanie 2 times saying, nope, she got her nails done again, and I'm just like, I don't know what we're gonna. She's like, it's okay, we can still get this figured out, and then luckily she got you to go again the 3rd time, and
the one thing that Steph did, and I love her, and she did such a great job, and I couldn't ask for a better sister. Like I seriously couldn't. I might cry because I'm emotional about everything. But I do want to say was when she sent me on TikTok a little TikTok video of like a girl getting her nails done to manifest her wedding ring. Like it wasn't like just a cute video of like someone having their nails done and being like, these are so cute, like I want to get these done. Or like if she would have just left it off as like, I really don't like my nail tech, can I go with you next time you get your nails done? Or like, I need to get my nails done. I would have done it because I had the photo shoot coming up.
Yep.
So I had to get my nails done anyways. Like they were going to be too grown out for the photo shoot anyways that I had that Monday. So like I had to get them done anyway. So it was fine. I had things planned. I didn't expect for it to be the weekend.
I think, we kind of used that too, where it was like, get them done for the photo shoot. Kind of.
Yeah. And I wanted to get the spray tan for the photo shoot, which I didn't get it this time.
It was nice because we could
Monday,
we can make you look all beautiful and pretty, and you could go over the top right before because we could use the photo shoot as an excuse.
Yeah, exactly. So it worked out. But the one thing was when Steph sent me like the manifesting the ring thing.
Yeah.
That kind of was like a little obvious because she doesn't send me anything like that. She'll send me like dog recipe videos and stuff. But it does help that she herself like has been with her boyfriend for a couple years. So like she also is like waiting for that too. So it is like kind of a bonding thing, waiting to like get engaged and get married. But on the other hand, that was one thing that I felt like when she sent that to me, it was a little obvious, but again, still like it was and then also then like Mel not trying to convince me, but like doing the 75 hard, talking to me about it, and then me trying to convince you to do the 75
that was
hard.
Another obstacle too. You're just like, I'm gonna do 75 hard, I'm gonna work out 2 times a day, I'm gonna quit alcohol, and I'm gonna like do all this stuff, change my whole diet, and I'm just like, the week before the proposal, I'm like, no, and you were surprised that I didn't jump on board.
The way that you like said about because also Brody's a type where like he knows the 75 hard, he loves self-improvement stuff, so I thought, he's gonna be on board with me. Like, no matter what goes on in our lives, we're going to figure this out. Like, we're both going through a lot. We'll do the 75 hard. And I said that on the phone with you, where I was like, there's always going to be something popping up that we're going to feel like we shouldn't do it, but we should just do it.
I'm like, you're right, but just work is busy. I'm stressed out right now. Just push it off
that.
2 weeks. And you're just like, why so specific?
Yeah,
and I'm
I
just
said that. Yeah.
because we got stuff happening at work and it's gonna take 2 weeks.
Yeah,
Stop
I was
asking
annoyed.
me.
I was annoyed at that response. I mean, it is what it was, and I
Yeah.
didn't do the 75 hard. I didn't start it, but I was like curious, and I just felt like
Yeah,
it
shot
was
down.
in my head. It was more of like surprised because
Yeah.
normally you can hop on things, and I was like, there's always gonna be something popping up.
Yep.
Like there's always gonna be
an
something,
excuse.
not enough money or not enough, or like so stressful at work, or like there's always gonna be something
Yeah.
as a setback
Yeah.
for us not to do it.
Which
So-
is why it builds discipline. We can get into that
Yes,
whole thing, but
yes.
the point is,
So that's why I said, like, why 2 weeks? Because in my head, I thought you're saying 2 weeks now, but then in 2 weeks from now, you're going to be like another 2 weeks or like something
Yeah.
like that, where I was like,
yeah,
just do it now.
yep,
But now I know why. Yeah.
yep, yeah. So that, and then the other the hardest probably thing was to get Stephanie down to the proposal location because that's down in Naperville and we're an hour and almost a half away, and Katie's got us on Life 360. We're all on Life 360, so she tracks me all the time anyways. So there's no way for me to get down there, and the only time I'd ever be down there is to see your parents, and the only time that happens is if you're with. So I was like, there's no way to sneak down there, and then this reptile expo pops up, and it's halfway down there anyways. You don't know exactly where it is. And I'm like, oh, this is perfect. It works out. And I finally like was able to, you worked. So we like weaseled our way out of that one where I'm like, I'll just have Steph go. It's okay. Luckily you can't go. And so then I'm like, that works out. And you were so upset. And I was like, no, it's okay. We need the money. We need the money. Go ahead and just go to work. And I'll just take Steph. It's okay. And you're like, okay, okay. And then like we get down there and then you're just like, hey, I can meet up with you guys. I got out of work like a lot earlier than I thought. And I was like, fuck. No, we're going to do this special thing. Russell and Mel, like, because they got a booth, like they're going to take us into this auction afterwards that like you can't get tickets for. Sorry. You just go to the graduation. Go to Cameron's graduation. Yeah, it's better. Have fun with your family. Tell them I said hi. And you're like, okay. And then, so Steph and I made the tail end of that expo and then snuck down to Naperville. And as we're driving, like, you call us and we're driving together. And I'm just like, fuck. Me and Stephanie look at each other and she's like, what do we do? I'm like, I don't know. What do we do? Should I answer? And then she's like, I'm going to search food places around here. And she sees that because, you know, we're assuming that you're checking Life 360 asking where we're going. And then she's like, there's a Buffalo Wild Wings right off this exit. And I'm like, okay, perfect. So I call you back. And I'm like, sorry, baby, we're driving. We're going to get food from Buffalo Wild Wings down the street here before we go to the auction thing.
I was so bummed.
And we'll get right back to that. And which luckily you didn't know exactly where the expo was. So I'm just like, so you're just like, yeah, you guys are like almost down to Naperville too. Like it's like down that way. You said something.
Did I say that?
Yeah,
I remember saying it like way later.
yeah, you said something along the lines of like, you guys are almost down in Naperville or something like that.
Oh.
And I'm just like, yeah. So weird. But then all of a sudden you're just like, yeah, okay, all right, love you, bye, kind of thing. And then me and Steph look at each other like, holy shit, that was a close call. We're both shaking. We're just like, oh my God, that was so close. That was so close. And then we get down there, and then that river walk, there was a thunderstorm like a couple days before, and the whole river was flooded. Like the whole walk was underwater, and like the light posts,
So crazy.
just the tops of the light poles were sticking out of the water. That's how deep this was. Like restaurants on the side of the Riverwalk were flooded, and we're trying to find this spot that we had our first kiss, and on our first date. So that could be the proposal spot, and at the end of the first date, and then I'm just like, and it's been 4.5 almost years since the last time I saw it, and I'm just like, Steph, I can't, it's all underwater. Like it's been so long. Like it's around here. It's one of these spots, but I can't say for sure. because it's all underwater. Like, if I could see where the benches were and stuff, like, and if I could see where the fucking light poles and stuff were, everything's underwater. I don't know.
Yeah.
And but then we found a pavilion, like this beautiful pavilion thing that overlooks the water, and it's like covered up by like shrubs and stuff, so you can't see in it while you're walking up to it. And I'm like, let's just go with this. It's beautiful. It's perfect, and we'll just round the corner and set everything up there. So we got like the light up marry me sign, and we had rose petals laid across the whole thing, and
But I shoved into my phone.
yeah, we'll get there because that was adorable. And then Steph had this awesome candle stand with a mirror on the top that we set the ring on, and it was beautiful. And so I'm just like, perfect. And then that was the longest freaking week of my life, just trying to wait for that. And so the weekend finally comes, and we wake up, not part of it, but IHOP right there. Have IHOP for breakfast.
Yeah. And also leading up to the week too, like leading up to that day. Again, I just want to mention this, but I like bring up again, like having a serious conversation with you, being like, so on your podcast, you said this, like, how come you said it so quickly? And then that's when you like put on a whole performance for me, making me feel so horrible, saying how you can't afford it and you can't give me what I want, and you feel so horrible. And also knowing Brody, like, he's the type where he wants to spoil me, and he's always been the type to like want a certain amount of money before he does something, and he wants to give me more because he wishes everything he had when he was, you know, when we first met, or before then, how much like the boat and the 2 cars and stuff, he used to have all of that, and 3 cars and just like that's how he used to be. And then to now, like, he just always is the type where he just wishes he could give me more, or be at that part of his life, or like he would have been able to afford it then but not now, kind of thing. And so he was like just going on and on about it, and I felt so bad. He did such a great job of just completely steering me away, where I just thought I was crazy. And then I'm like, shoot, I told like people at the salon about this, and now I'm gonna have to like just like tell them like, no, I don't think it's happening.
Shoot, I already told everybody I'm getting married.
No, but like that, we were talking about it, because also like he took my promise ring to like sell it, to like see what he could sell it for, to use towards an engagement ring, when we talked about the possibility of getting engaged on July 4th. So not on July 4th, but we talked about like, you know what, we should move into this next chapter. So when I came to work without my promise ring, people were like, what happened? Like, why do you not have your promise ring on? Because I wear it 24/7. And so then that I explained to them like the situation, and like, oh, actually we're looking into getting engaged, and so we're finally like, it's finally happening, and I'm so excited. And then I got my promise ring back because Brody was like, you know what, like they weren't giving me enough.
That was perfect, a perfect plan to steer you. It's such a stereotypical and easy excuse to get out of it. And that's why I used it, because I'm like, it was a perfect opportunity to steer you away from this, because I could just be like, yeah, they didn't want to give me enough for this thing, and like I can't afford it, and without a good payment from your promise ring, I can't afford an engagement ring. So baby, I'm sorry, but this isn't gonna happen. I can't.
You fully convinced me.
Fucking perfect. Like, it was a perfect, easy excuse to use to completely steer you away.
Yeah.
And I remember telling Stephanie countless times, like Steph, I had to break her heart again. I'm like, I feel so bad. I feel so fucking bad. It was the hardest thing. Like, she's tearing up, and I had to sit there knowing that I was breaking her heart. And Stephanie's like, it's okay. It's for a better cause. It's for a better cause. She's like trying to comfort me while I know that I'm breaking your heart. And I'm just like, oh, I had to do it again, and so bad. I'm like, it's going to be all worth it. It's going to be all worth it.
Yeah. And I just like, I just, you did a great job of convincing me and making me feel like I was cuckoo and that it wasn't going to happen. And then even like on the day of, and I think that's the best thing. It wasn't like it happened and I was like, oh, like it happened. It was more of like, I went through all 4 emotions, or just like I went through a roller coaster of emotions, because I like was in denial. Yeah. Like, it wasn't shock. It was denial.
Yeah. If you go on, again, on Instagram, look at the photos, like your expressions, like you weren't there. Like, you didn't even.
I blacked out. Yeah. Like, was I was shocked and I was in denial. Like, I didn't think it was for me. Like, I did not think it was happening.
Well, we're walking up. We get to the final stop of the first date, which is the river walk, and we get out, and I'm like walking. I'm just like hustling. I didn't realize it, but I'm like walking, and you like stop me, and you're just like, "Ow, Brody, you're hurting my arm. You're pulling me really hard."
Which is very not like him, but it was to the point where like I had to say something because he was really hurting my arm. Like, you had a tight grip on me too.
I didn't realize I was walking so fast and pulling so hard, because like usually I'm cool, calm, and collected, and like. It was just surprising to me. I was like, fuck, did I just blow this?
I just thought you were trying to rush so we could get home early.
Yeah.
Because we tend to just be in bed at like 6, 8 o'clock. It was already like 6 o'clock around this time.
Yeah, and also because I told everybody that we would be back by 5:30, and we still had that hour and a half drive, and I'm like, we are so fucking late. Because not only did I have to surprise plan the proposal, I had to surprise plan the party afterwards, the after party, which you had no idea about.
Yeah, you just didn't account for all of the time that we would have, like driving to Outback, driving to the...
I thought I planned for that all, but it just... Oh, and then also our waiter at Outback was just like... non-existent.
Yeah, we got our food really fast, but then he did take a while to give us our check.
Disappeared.
But I don't think it was him though. It was because his 2 tables kept calling him over. He'd like go to grab the check, and then he'd get pulled aside, and then have to get them their drinks or something. So then he'd walk away and then pass by, and then the table would get his attention. Yeah. So that's why I did see that, because I was faced towards where he was coming from, and you were faced towards the door. Yeah.
But so then as we're walking up to the location, we see a couple getting an engagement photo.
Yeah, like an engagement photo shoot. Like not actually getting proposed to, but like she was wearing all white, and he was wearing like a little like tuxedo. And they were like getting photos taken for their engagement.
Yeah, and you're just like, oh, so cute. They're getting engagement photos. And I was just like, maybe one day.
Yeah.
I was like, one day, very soon.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you like didn't pick up on that. That's what I said. I said one day, very soon.
Oh, well, because we always planned on that. You always made me believe that it would be sometime next year.
I thought this was so
like
funny.
Very soon.
After I saw that, I was like, oh my God, this is going to be so funny
I know,
afterwards.
Doug was so funny when he was like, they were paid actors.
Yeah. Oh yeah, this is a very expensive proposal. We had paid actors everywhere.
Yeah.
Same. Yeah. So we'll get to the next thing, but we walk up, we're walking up to the pavilion, and we walk over to the front, and I turn you in there. Mm-hmm. And what do you see?
So actually, what went through my mind was you were like tugging me to the spot, and when you turned, I didn't see everything yet. Like, it was kind of early when you turned, to me, from my point of view, from what I saw. So then the moment I like panned through, you were already heading in, and like they were like kind of gazebo looking like views. And we already passed like 2 of them. They like go down the river walk. So there's like a bunch more. So in my head, when you turn the corner, I saw like the Marry Me light up sign with rose petals on the floor and with like little heart-shaped light up candles, and the stand with the ring pop on it. But I didn't catch the ring pop right away. I just saw the stand, but I saw the Marry Me with the rose petals. So I like started stepping away really early, because I thought the moment I like glanced and saw it, I thought it was for the engagement photo shoot.
Yeah,
so I was like thinking like, oh no, let's go to the one before. Like, let's not go to this one. Let's go to a different one. Like, thinking you didn't spot it either. I'm like, I don't want to mess anything up.
Yeah,
like,
we turn in, and she starts pulling me back. Like, she tries to walk.
Yeah, and you don't really see it in the video because it's like right before you can see us, where I could like see some of it and be like, oh.
Yeah, it was like right as that bush came in the camera, or the pole came in camera, like you tried to back away, and I like pulled you harder.
You did. You were like, no, come with me,
like,
kind
baby,
of thing.
I promise you're supposed to be here.
Yeah, but I didn't think I was supposed to. And then when we're walking in, I like kind of was in denial, where I was like, wait a second, kind of feeling. But it's like in my head too, I'm like telling myself it's not for me. Like, for some reason, like, why would you tug me to a Marry Me spot? But in my head, everything you convinced me, I was like, it's not for me. Everything he told me, like, even on our date, as he's bringing me to all these places, he's telling me how he can't give me what he want or what I want. and how he can't afford it and he feels so bad, but he needs this time with me. Like, he's telling me all of that stuff during the date of us going to all these different spots that I'm like, okay, well, he keeps telling me this and he's so serious about it. Like, I don't want to hurt his feelings and not believe him, you know, and like think it's happening. So I kept telling myself like it's not happening. So then like that's why the whole time I'm like in denial, because I'm like, he kept telling me this isn't happening. Like, I think the only time it felt real when I like panned the corner and saw like Steph was hiding behind a pillar with a camera. And she was crouched down and she was like, her face was so red and she already like has been crying basically. And then she like looked at me and like started smiling. And then I like could see Doug at the corner of my eye. But at that point I was like so focused on you. So I didn't really look at Doug. But then we're like walking up, and the moment like you got down on one knee was the moment that I like was like, oh, like this is actually happening. But even then, like I feel like the whole time I like felt like it wasn't actually happening. Like, it felt unreal, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
More fresh air.
I know.
Mister things keeps
I'm going to smell really good because it's right above me.
Yeah, that thing needs to get out of here next time we record.
I know. I'm sorry.
That's okay. Yeah.
You just have dirty dogs, so that's why I have them all around the house.
Yeah, it was so freaking cool, though, to take you in there. And yeah, and I had that special 3D printed ring pop ring case. It was awesome because you always said that I knew I had to incorporate a ring pop into the proposal somehow because you always said I could propose with a ring pop and you'd say yes. So I grabbed it off the stand.
I thought it was a ring pop. I didn't think it was actually gonna have a ring in it or like have a ring.
And traditionally drop down on my left knee like you're supposed to.
He did research. Hold
the case with my left hand and open with my right hand. I know all this, but you didn't even realize it was a case. Like, I dropped to one knee and I hold the ring pop out to you, and then I like start to crack it open, and you were like, "What the?"
Yeah, literally.
Because it looks like a real ring pop.
Like, even before you even said a word, I wanted to be like, "Yes!" Like I like before you even said anything. The moment you dropped down on one knee, my brain's just like, "Yes, yes, yes."
You're
yes,
so
yes,
cute.
Yes, yes. Like I just like, yeah.
You're adorable. Yeah, and then I cracked that thing out. You didn't even look at the ring.
No, I was focused on you.
Yeah.
Like that, and I hope that means more.
Because then you like turned away.
The whole time I was like so focused on you.
Yeah, you like turned away and held your eyes, and I literally had to like stand back up and put my hand on your back because I was like, yeah, and I'm like.
I wasn't focused on the ring. I was focused on you.
Yeah, you're adorable.
I like not that I didn't care, but like I more care about marrying you and being with you than I do about a ring or about a wedding or anything. Like, it's more about us.
You turned away and like held your eyes, and I was like, you don't like it? You don't want it?
No. No. But it was sweet though, because then you were like shaking like crazy. Oh, yeah. You couldn't even get the ring on my finger, which I think what like set in for me, because like, sorry, I keep saying like, but you grew up dirt biking at like age 3. Like, you've seen a lot of stuff. Like, you've seen people like die on the track. You've seen like at the farm, you've dealt with like really like crazy situations, or like the barn being on fire, or like Baron getting his ear freaking chomped, or anything like that. That like you've seen so much that you are so good under pressure. Like, you are so good just taking in a moment. If something quick happens, you're really good at calming me down and not putting attention to anything. Even if you see something weird or you see something acting or like something being off, you'll like comfort me and you'll just like act really natural and like move away from the situation. Or you're really good at just being good with your surroundings, acting calm, thinking last minute decisions, like life-changing decisions. Like, you are so good under pressure that to see you proposing to me and your hands shaking uncontrollably, like, I think just set in for me, because it like, stop, I'm gonna start crying when you look at me like that.
I love you.
It's more of like, it just really showed me how much you love me. Where then again, in that moment, I could care less about a ring, because the ring can come and go. It's you that I want permanent in my life forever. Mm-hmm. You know, like rings and houses and everything's gonna come and go, but not you.
Like, no,
You know?
we're not even excited to, like, plan for
I mean,
a
we're
wedding.
excited, but we're taking our time. Yeah.
But we're just excited to spend the rest of our lives together.
Yeah, you know. So.
Which is exactly what I said in my speech that you didn't hear because you blacked out.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's why it wasn't. That's the only way I can describe it. I don't want it to come across any
No,
like
it's
disrespectfully or anything, but like,
Yeah.
I don't care about the ring. I don't care about the carrot that you got. I don't care about the cut. I don't care about the
Yep.
band. I don't care about any of that. Like, it's beautiful and like it's cute. Like when I get compliments on my ring and people say, but I also did have a promise ring. So
Yeah.
like the only time it ever really sets in is like when I look at the ring and realize it's not my promise ring.
Yeah.
Like that's what really sets in. Cause I had my promise ring on me 24/7. I
Yeah.
never took it off. This one I kind of have to because I want to keep it in good condition just
Yeah.
because it's so beautiful. But even then, I've only taken it. Sorry if I doubt the person who sold you the ring is going to be listening. But if they are, I'm sorry. I've only put it in the cleaning solution once. Since
he
I have
even
it,
said it. He was just like,
She's not gonna listen."
She's not gonna listen to me, but she's got to take this ring off and soak it in this solution every single night.
and I know why, because like when you went to sell my promise ring, there was a lot of scratches and a lot of stuff on it, and it was really
he basically
dirty.
told me this
that-
thing's beat to shit.
Yeah. Well, this ring's gonna get beat to shit
Yeah.
because
No, it's
I love
good.
it.
Good.
And I want to wear it all the time. But
Get that use out of it.
yeah. But yeah, it's just more of I just love you and I don't
Love you.
you are the only permanent thing in my life. You know.
You're amazing.
You're amazing.
Yeah, and the funny thing too is this pavilion was outstretched over the water, and it's wood floor, like plank floorings. And Stephanie was just like, Brody, like when we went down there to
Yeah.
tour the place the
Not
first
when I
time
was
or to
there.
look at it, she was just like, Brody, I swear to God, if you drop the ring between these boards, I'm going to be so pissed. She's like, there's way too many YouTube videos of guys doing that with engagement rings, and all their buddies have to dive into the water trying to find
Good
it.
for us. At least it would have landed like on a sidewalk.
Yeah, I think so. I think it was just over.
I don't think it was over water. I think it was over like the river walk
Yeah.
part.
It was
and
right
grass.
there. I mean, if it balanced right, it probably could have.
Landed in the water.
Because, I mean, it was like, yeah, it was like over the river walk, but we were all the way out on the end. And
Yeah.
I don't know. But either way, she's like, don't drop this between. You don't. I'm like holding onto it so tightly, but trying to put it on your finger. And
Yeah.
it was weird because I was watching, like, again, I'm good in the moment and, like, I'm calm, but, like, I was watching myself and seeing my hands just shaking. But I was, like, watching my hands shake. And I'm like, this is weird.
Yeah.
Like, just trying to put your ring on. And I'm
Yeah.
like, this is so weird. Uh-huh. It's so cool.
And even then it was so funny because we got to Outback and on like for like our recent for the proposal, and I'm like, "Ugh, I'm still full from IHOP." And you're like, really? I'm so hungry. Like, I just thought, like, my stomach's settled by now. Like, I thought yours would be. Like, I'm starving. And I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, we'll go in and we'll eat. So then we're both eating, and you only have, like, a couple bites. Well, you eat your chicken part, but then, like, you leave your sides. Like, you don't even touch them. And I actually eat, like, more than I expected. And then we, like, get our to-go boxes and everything, and, like, you only ate just a little bit. And then, like, as we're driving to the next place, which also, while we were at Outback, he goes, so where do you want to go next? And I was like, don't you have this planned? And he's like, yeah, but, like, I don't know. Where you want to go next? And I'm thinking, well, we're reliving our first date, basically. So I was like, normally we would go to downtown Naperville. I was like, but we can go home. Because, again, we typically go to bed pretty early. And so I was just thinking, oh, it's kind of getting a little late to drive an hour and a half home and head home. So we can just head home now. It's fine. And then he literally, like, convinces me, like, it was my decision. And he's like, no, you're right. We'll go to downtown Naperville. Like, plays it off like that wasn't where we were going to go anyways. But then as we're driving there, you're like, man, my stomach really, really hurts. Like, it just, and also knowing you, Mr. Farmer Boy, who has such an iron stomach, I'm like, your stomach hurts? And you're like, yeah, like, I don't know, my stomach just really hurts. And I'm like, oh, like, and I think I said something like, oh, that's weird. Like, that mine doesn't and yours does, you know? Because I have, like, such a sensitive stomach. But yeah, so now I know why. You were probably just so jittery on what was going to happen next. Like, your jitters were getting to you. Like, you were so calm and collected for Outback, and the walk, but then when it came to downtown Naperville, you were like tugging me and like rushing and so and no wonder now you didn't care about going to the Barnes and Noble parking garage. I kept trying to get you to go there and you were like, no, it's fine, we're just gonna go this way.
Yeah, there's so many times where like I'm just like, no, it's this way, we're doing it this way.
Well, you specifically asked me for the directions to that parking garage.
That's because I knew if we got there, then I could figure out the way. Because, I mean, we're not down there a lot. And, like, I knew if we got to that spot, I knew where to go kind of thing. But, because we parked in the exact same spot that Stephanie and I parked when we, because I was like, if we get to that parking spot, I'll walk us to exactly where we need to go. So, that's why.
Oh, okay.
Yep. but, yeah, it was so cool. And then, like, trying to like we had such a long drive and you wanted to FaceTime everybody and some of the people I'm like,
now I know why.
Nope, you can't FaceTime them. Don't do that.
Yeah, and now I know why. So wait, hold on, we're moving a little fast. So then you like proposed to me and I say yes and you put the ring on my finger, but then immediately after that Steph and Doug just start cleaning up and I'm like, hold on, because like in the moment like I didn't take everything in, like I'm like I just want to see everything, like wait, like I want to, like, and knowing them, they're just, like, they're trying to clean up to go on to the next thing, because it wasn't over. But to me, I'm, like, panicking, like, wait, like, I want to be in this moment. Like, I want to see everything. So then I started cleaning up petals, and they were like, no. And they, like, Doug starts, like, trying to take the petals near me, because they don't want me cleaning up. But I actually, like, gathered the petals in my hand and, like, put them in my phone case to keep them.
She's, like, still saying that, oh, my God, this is so surreal. I can't believe this is happening. And as she's saying this, she's bending over, picking up these petals with her phone case open and just, like, stuffing them in her phone case, which is clear, so you can see it through. And it was just so funny, because, like, she's, like, in awe and, like, totally, like, you can see how her mind is just racing and she's like looking around, spacing, not even paying attention to what she's doing as she's just picking these petals up and stuffing in her phone case so naturally. And I thought it was the cutest, most adorable thing that she just like was picking them up. Yeah, it was so cute the way you just like thought like subconsciously to just put those in your phone case.
Yeah, and also since we were off the river walk, when you like asked me and I said yes and we like kissed, everyone like started cheering on the river walk.
That was the other thing.
We were like, so I turned around because I didn't know what to do, so I like turned over to them and went, woo!
Yeah, we all cheer like we're freaking king and queen. Like just everybody, the crowd in the background just starts cheering and celebrating. And we both turn and start waving like we're.
I didn't wave.
No,
I did not wave.
Yeah, we did.
Oh, you did?
We both did. Yeah, I waved.
Oh, I didn't.
Yeah,
if you look in the video, I put my hand up in a fist and I go, woo!
Oh, okay. Well, I waved. I saw your arm go up and my arm went up and I waved. But yeah, that's what we were saying is like the people taking the engagement photos were paid actors, and then all those people in the background were paid actors.
We're paid actors,
and me and Doug are joking about the whole time, like, yeah, this is a really expensive proposal. There's a lot of fucking paid actors.
Yeah. But yeah, so then, and then me and Steph have a little moment, and then they just start cleaning up. And so then in my head, I'm like, since we live like an hour and a half away from Naperville, and that's where my parents live, so I'm like, can we go to my parents' house? I mean, now I have my engagement ring. Like, can we stop there? And also, like, my dad wants us to pick up a mattress that we still haven't picked up yet.
I know, next weekend.
Yeah, but I'll be busy next weekend. But to me, I was like, oh my gosh, like, we could, lose my train of thought, but we could pick up the mattress and then show them the ring really quickly. And then he's like, well, not everything's over yet, blah, blah, like, I didn't
tell you then. At first I was just spaced out and I was like, baby, it's getting late and like we got a long drive. I was like trying not to tell you, and then you're like, well then can we stop and see my mom? She's at work. And I'm like, why do you want to stop everywhere? We're so fucking. We're like 2 hours. We're literally like 2 hours late. I know. I understand. And I was like excited.
And we're right there. And
I was
like
thinking about it also, but I'm like, it has to be so quick. It has to be so quick.
Like to me, I'm like, your family lives all around here. Like not your mom anymore, but like your family all lives around here. Me, I live so far away from all of my family. So I'm like, if I could at least show my parents the ring, because when's the next time we're going to be in Naperville?
Well, because I had like 10 minutes to stall because I needed Steph and Doug to get back up to the house for the surprise party.
Yeah.
So I wanted to stall for a little bit, but like I knew if we went there, it was going to be like hours. And I'm like, we're already like 2 hours behind schedule and got an hour and a half drive. I'm like, we got to freaking go. I'm like, baby, no, we can't. Like, let's just go. So I was like, yeah, just FaceTime him, and
Yeah.
we gotta go. And then,
Oh, and then also after you proposed to me, my freaking business partner and best friend, Anita, knew about it the whole time. Brody reached out to her through Messenger, got her phone number, and so then she sent like the cutest little video, like congratulating me and you, and then like wanted me to FaceTime her after it happened. So then I did. She was the first person I FaceTimed after I got proposed to, but that was super sweet too. I was very shocked. We still have to send her my reaction. I don't think we have yet, unless you did.
No, because we don't have a clear video.
We still have to get that from Doug.
Yeah, because he sent it in a group chat, and it was like super blurry and fuzzy. So we got to get like airdrop it or email it or something.
Yeah.
Because that way we can share it with everyone, and then we can post it on Instagram also.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was adorable, and it was perfect, and I couldn't be happier.
Oh, it was perfect. It's nothing I could have ever imagined.
And now that it's all said and done, like, just looking at you just makes me so happy, and like, I just know in my stomach and heart that like I couldn't have made a better decision, and I'm so happy with my decision, and I'm so happy to be with you, and like, I just space off wondering how and why, and like how lucky I am to have found my soulmate, and she's willing to marry me.
Oh my goodness, you.
I love you.
I love you. I feel an odd too all the time, and I just feel like what's so special too is like I'm in the wedding industry, so I know a lot of people and have a lot of connections and stuff, and everyone keeps asking, like, literally the moment we're FaceTiming people on the day I said yes, it's like, do you have a date picked out yet? Or do you know when you guys are going to get married? Or, like, that's such a common thing I've been asked so much is, like, what year? Do you guys have a date? Do you guys have this? But, like, we are so happy just being in the moment, you know? And, of course, don't get me wrong, I want to marry you, and I get little glimpse feelings where I'm just like, let's elope right now. Like, let's just get married. But on the other hand, like, I do have a feeling where I just love being in the moment and, like, being in this and appreciating you, and just, like, I'm excited for this next chapter and don't want to rush into it. Like, I just want to be with you.
You know, it's another funny thing, too, is, like, people asking, so do you guys have a date plan for the wedding on the day that you just got proposed to? It's like, are you fucking kidding me? I didn't know about this until today. What, you think I got a date planned?
Well, that was like the same concept that I always told you aggravated me. If anyone knows me, and it's nothing personal, but if anyone knows me knows I never ask this to anyone. And it's one question that gets under my skin. When I was your girlfriend, I was just your girlfriend, not your fiance. But when I was your girlfriend, when people would come to me, because we've been together for like 4 years, and would be like, when do you think he's going to propose? Why are you asking me?
Yeah.
Why would I know? If it was my decision, we'd be proposed to, like, married by now. Like, what? Like, what? Why are you asking me this kind of thing? Like, it would, like, and then I feel like, I mean, maybe guys might, like, bring it up and be like, so you think she's the one? Or, like, well, brings the low-key stuff like that up. But I feel like girls are so in-depth, and they ask about it all. And that's the first thing, like, even people I would just meet, like, don't even know me, like, I'm just meeting them, and they're like, do you think he's gonna propose? Do you think he's gonna pop the question? And I'm like, I wish. I don't know. Why don't you go? Like, I would always tell the girls, like, that's a him question. That's not a me question. Like, that's just one thing that I would never, I don't care if I meet a girl and she's been with the guy for 7-8 years. Like, I'm never gonna ask the girl, do you think he's gonna propose?
Yeah, that's such a weird...
I can ask, like, do you want to marry him? Like, because you can easily be like, yeah, I think he's the one, I'd want to marry him. That's something I can answer. Yeah. But, like, do you think he's going to propose? Why is that being asked to me? Or when do you think he's going to propose? Do you think he's going to do it soon?
Yeah.
How am I supposed to know? Like, I'm not going to go around telling people that. I love people, don't get me wrong. If anyone asks me that, it's totally fine. But, like, I would get that all the time where I would tell Brody, where I'd be like, people ask me this all the freaking time.
Yeah.
How am I supposed to know? Yeah, it's like one of those questions. Sorry. Yeah. Where people don't think.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But and I think part of it's like the people that, I don't know, maybe have a specific date. Like, if I know, like, the day that you asked me to be your girlfriend, I want to get married to you on. So, like we know the exact date or anything, but like number one, we can't do that because it's going to be like a Tuesday or something like in the next couple of years. It's like a weekday in the beginning. We're not getting married then. But also on the other hand, I think that's why people ask it, but still it would be like, yeah, like not even an hour later and we're telling everyone and they're like, do you have a date picked out yet? Like even I love your mom, but she asked it, but she was cute because she like asked it 'cause she was so excited and she was like, do you have a date picked out yet? And then she was like, oh, way too soon. You guys just enjoy it. Like she was super cute about it. Like she was super sweet, but she wasn't the only one. Like a lot of people were asking. So, or like ask like venue. Like the only thing I have picked out is like our colors. That's it. That's the only thing I have picked out. But I feel like, especially with how both of our careers are right now, like a lot can change in like by December, you know, that I just don't picture us doing anything. And knowing the month that I want to get married, it would be way too soon to do it for next year. Even though I'd love to marry you tomorrow, but it'd be way too soon to do it next year. So that's why I said would probably be around like 2025 or so. Mm-hmm. But yeah,
I love you with all my heart.
I love you.
I'm so excited to be with you.
Mm-hmm, me too. Forever.
One flesh.
I wasn't sure if that was like just an us thing or if you would actually tell people you like we say that to each other. One flesh. It's so cute.
You're so cute. I love you.
I love you. We're just like connected. We're just like one person now, basically.
Yep. You're amazing.
And not everyone has that happen when they get engaged.
Yeah.
Or like you said, like people get like cold feet when they get engaged.
Yep.
You know? Like even when I was like, of course I'm going to say yes. And you were like, well, sometimes people like get that question and want it that whole time. But then the moment they get asked it, they get like cold feet or they end up saying no. You know? And you were so funny joking about it being like, yeah, I come home like crying like, guys, go home kind of thing.
Yeah, you tell me no. And
did we even talk about what happened when I came home?
No, not really. We didn't do the party much. Yeah.
Well, basically I came home and there was a surprise party with all of our friends. And everyone was parked in our front yard and it was all decorated by Abby and JJ helped and stuff. And even like Mel like took over some of it too and just like helped like organize things. They didn't know where tape was. So one of the decorations that says engage is stapled to our wall.
Yeah, that's awesome.
There
I'm
forever.
So excited about that.
And then I think Abby left to go get tape or someone left to go get tape and came back and yeah, so then they all like decorated and had cookies laid out with ring pops and
ring pops sprawled across the whole house.
Yeah, and then me and you only eat one cookie and then everyone else stuffs our
Packs
cookies in their bag
and takes them all. Yeah, like
gosh. And you know why they did that? You know why they did that was because I gave 2 to Abby to give to my parents, and I remember the moment I did that, everyone started packing them in their bags.
Oh my god.
Like I could see people taking them home.
Yeah.
And I was like, the only reason why Abby took 2 was because she was giving them to my parents.
Yeah, 'cause she lives right next door.
She literally lives right next door. She was dropping them in their mailbox.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it was so funny. I mean, they were good.
Yeah,
like I can see why, but yeah, so yeah.
It's funny.
Brody and Catie cookies, everyone stuffs them in their bag.
Yeah, they were a hit.
And I remember too being like, actually, I took one and hid it because I was like, I don't want these to like be gone.
Yeah.
And I, when you're in the moment, it's like any drink you have, any conversation you have, anything kind of like goes one ear out the other or like goes over because you're so like, oh my god, all these people are here. Like that's how. Sorry, my nose is like dripping. Sorry, I thought I had a bloody nose for a second. I was like, what is going on? But that's even how I felt on my 21st birthday when you had the surprise party where it's like it's hard to take it in because it's all such a surprise.
Yep.
And also I'm not good with like being the center of attention, like, which is funny because I talk a lot and you would think I am, but I actually don't like all the attention on me. So when everyone's like congratulating me and coming up and talking to me, I get like overwhelmed a little bit. Mm-hmm. Where like I kind of had to like go away in the bedroom a little bit. Not in a bad way. It's more of just like, oh my gosh, all these people are here. What's going on? Like it's hard to take in. I have so many emotions.
I can only imagine like just getting proposed to and then all of a sudden, boom, surprise party.
Yeah, like even like your one birthday when we first got our house and I invited like a bunch of friends over for you for your birthday, and even some of the friends you didn't even know that I could contact. Like I'm pretty sure I'm blanking on his name.
Dominic.
Yeah, when he walked in, you were like, Dominic, like you were like so surprised by it, you know,
Yeah,
but
that
it's
was
like
awesome.
in that moment you can't fully take it in because you're so like in shock kind of thing.
Yep.
And just being pulled both ways for like, just like, look at this that we did, look at that, you know, kind of thing. That there's even a point where like I went to you and I was like, I don't want to look at our bedroom until like you're with me. So you came to follow me, and Abby and Annie were behind us following us. And I turned to them and I went, hey guys, like don't take this the wrong way, but can I just see the bedroom with Brody? Like just as like I wanted privacy, you know, like.
You're just like talking over the mic.
Oh,
It's
sorry.
Clear. It's just gonna be fuzzy on the audio.
Sorry,
It's okay.
sorry guys. I didn't realize that.
It kind of gets fuzzy when you get out here. So
shoot, I didn't notice that.
okay.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But I wanted more like just like privacy, like a moment with me and you.
Mm-hmm.
And
I'm like, unless you guys want to record.
I know. So, which they were just so excited. Like they were super sweet. They were like, oh yeah, sorry. Like we'll let you guys see it, and like walked away. Like they were super sweet about it. And I even walked out afterwards and I was like, I'm so sorry. Like, please don't get upset by that. Like I just really just wanted to see it with just me and Brody. Like I didn't want like a whole crowd following us while we're going in our bedroom. Like
Basically,
kind
it
of
was just
thing.
rose petals all over the bed.
It was cute, but yeah, so it's just so hard to take in those moments. And so I like grabbed the cookie and I was like, I'm gonna put it away in case they're all gone. And I remember, I think it was Mel or Steph, but I'm pretty sure it was Mel, where she was like, oh, there's so many up here, like no one's gonna be taking them. And I'm pretty sure like they did.
Everybody did.
Everyone
They were
like took
gone,
the
all
moment
of them.
I said that, I think everyone was like, yeah, you're right, these might go. So then they all like started stuffing cookies.
Literally.
Yeah.
And the funniest thing, like, I think out of everybody, I think Steph partied the hardest.
You literally
She
tell
was-
everyone that she partied like it was her own engagement.
Yeah, she did, and it was awesome. It was so cool to see how happy she
cute.
was for it. Like she was literally partying like it was her engagement.
Like,
and then
to the point-
she flowed up all over that night.
yeah.
Not at the party, but that's
Afterwards.
what she said.
Yeah, like to the point where she was like opening up a drink and then forgetting she opened that drink up. So then she opens up another one and then realizes she has two drinks.
she's
So
just
she starts
drinking both
mixing
of them.
them.
Yeah,
Literally
pouring
both of them
both.
down the hatch.
Yeah. Oh my god, she was so funny. She was dancing all over the place. Like she was having so much fun.
Which she deserves it because she did all the planning with you too. So
she
she probably
needed
felt
to
so
unwind.
like accomplished
Relieved.
and
I feel like her and I went the hardest partying. Like
Yeah.
I remember I busted out the mountain bikes and the skateboard and everything.
that
and I'm
was
just like,
so funny with all the guys. I recorded it.
the
of all
ideas
of
are
them doing
slowly
it.
becoming worse.
Yeah, they were. It was so
Jumping
funny.
off the staircase and stuff.
Yeah, and also it was sweet too, because like even knowing like, you know, when you drink, like you have no filter, like you say whatever spews out of your mouth and everything, and it was just sweet to have her like be so excited for me to be her sister, and not even calling me her sister-in-law, like just saying I'm her sister, and just all excited, and just seeing her while she's like drunk too, like having a lot to drink,
so
and
freaking cute.
to be talking that way, like
She was so happy for
was
us.
really
And the
relieving.
respect for the ring. You want to talk about that?
Oh, yeah. Well, I just thought it was super sweet because she told me, because me and Steph are the exact same ring size. So when Brody got the ring, he dropped it off at Steph and Doug so I wouldn't find it. And he asked Steph, like, to try it on to make sure that it would fit me, because he wanted to make sure that he could put it on my finger and it would fit me. And Steph told Brody, like, no, like, I don't want to try on the ring, only because I feel like the ring should only be around Katie's finger. Like, whether if it's big or if it's small, like, the only finger that ring should go on is Katie's.
Yeah.
So I just thought that was super sweet,
adorable.
too. Yeah. That was
super respectful and cute.
And honestly, that would have been something that I wouldn't have even cared about. Like, it never would be a thought in my head to feel that way.
Yep.
Like, even if she did, I would have been like, that was smart. Like, we're the same ring size. Like, thank you for trying it on. But just knowing, like, you did have my ring size. It's not like you had my promise ring, so it was most likely gonna fit. And just the fact that she respected it so much to be like, no, that ring should only be on Katie's finger, was super sweet of her. So that went a long way. I really appreciate her telling me that, because that's not something that I would have cared about, but like it meant more knowing that she felt that way.
Yeah, it was so cool.
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot to say, and we could do a whole nother episode where this is the
We're
longest
at
episode.
3 hours. You
yep.
weren't even gonna make this a 2-parter.
No, it's going to be a straight through thing. I'm just
Yeah,
gonna
have
leave it.
fun. So you guys are probably on day 3 listening to this.
Yeah, hopefully you made it this far, because that would be awesome. Yeah, and we could totally talk more about this, but It was just a perfect, great.
We went in depth with
day.
everything. We should have known though, because we just have so much like history and so much to our story that we can go on little tangents and talk about everything. So
plus, I haven't had you on the podcast in so long too. So
yeah,
I love you with all my heart.
I love you.
And I wanted to get this on the podcast because I thought it'd be awesome to be able to look back on. And I love you so much.
I love you
I'm so excited to
much.
spend the rest of my life with you.
I'm so excited to spend the rest of my life with you.
All right, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this episode. I freaking love you, and I really enjoyed this. I always love having you on the podcast. And if you guys are enjoying it, please give me a follow on Spotify. That really helps. Follow me on Instagram. Follow Catie on Instagram.
Katie's Confidence.
Yep. And yeah, you guys rock. Give me a rating. That really helps too for the podcast. I really enjoy doing this. And thank you for tuning in.
And staying the 3 hours if you did.
Yes, and staying the 3 hours. All right, guys. You all rock. Rock on. And
Mr. and Mrs. Frye coming soon, so stay tuned.
yeah, stay tuned for that. And peace out. I
Out.
just thought you were going to say it.
Sorry. Peace out.
Peace out.